Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran, and I'm here with Andrew Velez, Joe Dehls, and John Tortorelli. John, it's great to have you on.
It's great to be here, fellas.
Mr. John Tortorelli?
Mr. John Tortorelli.
Mr. John Tortorelli, there it is.
Mr. Joe Dehls, Mr. Andrew Velez, Mr. River Brown is not here today because he's
taking the
on
day
a
off,
field
I
trip.
think.
No,
Oh,
he's on a field trip with his kids. So shout out to him doing his job.
You know where he went?
to society.
You
You don't believe
ducking?
River Brown?
No.
Field trip.
He's ducking. Typical.
Next time we see Riv, you're going to hear it from him. You know that. He's going to call you out. He's going to say, why you call me out on the show?
You know, I thought about texting him before. I was like, yo, bro, I'm going to spark back up that you're ducking. I thought about texting him, but he'll watch this and he'll know that I'm joking.
I see. It is very convenient timing. It is.
I mean,
one could
multiple
argue.
things.
Wait, are you here to victory lap Victor Wembanyama?
No, not Victor Lap, him specifically.
Okay.
Just more so River Brown and the things that he had said in the past about SGA mainly. I'm kind of just wearing this to just ride home the fact that Victor's better than him.
What's the temperature on SGA after these playoffs?
I think he went off on as good of a note as you could ask for.
Yeah. I mean, you scored 35 the way he did. I know a lot of it came in the first half, but he was keeping them afloat for majority of that game.
People were very disrespectful about his fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He took 4 attempts. He made 2 of them. He had 4 points.
For the series, he was bad
Kaysen
in
was
the fourth
cooking in
quarter.
the
Terrible in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter.
So does his game 7 now save him from criticism?
No, I
Not
think he
over-
still gets criticized, but the game 7 definitely helps him. If he went out there and put up a game 6 performance or like where he really, really struggled, it would have been a nasty summer. But game 7 saved him. More than anything, Chet Holmgren saved him. Because Chet being as terrible as he was, the conversations have completely flipped after game 7 from people shitting on SGA before then to now it's you got to move on from Chet.
And a real
It's a
amount
good
of
teammate.
cardio he was doing in game 7.
teammate.
Look, I don't know if the criticism that Shai would be getting, I don't feel is fully fair because of the fact his struggles say a lot more about Victor Wembanyama than anything else. Like, I wasn't necessarily surprised because we saw, especially from the onset of the series, it was going to be extremely difficult for him to generate any separation. Game 7, he did all he could, but like y'all highlighted, Kaysen was the only other one that really can give them any source of offense. And even then, with their injuries and the offensive supporting cast, there just wasn't enough. And I felt like by the end of the series, when Dylan Harper by game 6 was more of himself because he was playing through injury, and the same with Fox, the Spurs were just clearly the better team. So I don't know if Shai deserves a lot of criticism for this postseason run. We were able to confirm what we kind of expected going in. It's that Victor Wembanyama is going to put out a lot of his drives, and it's going to make it very dependent for Shai. If he knows I can't get to the rim and I have to rely on this mid-range shooting, and I'm not getting the separation, it's just going to make his life a lot more difficult. But I feel like it's unfortunate that the NBA world has to just immediately denounce a player if he doesn't play a good series without that nuance of highlighting the fact. It's just a really tough matchup.
So all those watching right now, we appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to drop a like, drop a comment. We got a comment last week that was very heartwarming that Dehls made apparent to me, and I think we have to highlight it on the show.
Heartwarming.
It was somebody that said we deserve 1 million subscribers. So we really appreciate you, dude.
That was sweet.
It means a lot to us. We're trying to grind. We're trying to work as hard as possible with this content. Thank you. We really appreciate it. That is the comment of the week.
Comment of the
Because it
week.
made Dehls smile.
It did make me smile.
And have you smiled a lot recently? Or was that one of the few smiles you've had?
One of the few smiles. Hasn't been a lot to smile about these days.
Yeah, I
Damn, that's
understand.
pretty brutal.
It's
Oh,
been
man.
grim. I've
I
been
know,
watching a
'cause
lot
you
of
thought SGA was
Snowfall.
the best in the world too.
Yeah, Wemmy's got it. Shout out to him.
You know, it was one of the few debates that you participated in, Dehls, that you lost.
Oh,
Yeah, when it comes to, honestly, best in the world debates don't really interest me that much. Anything outside the Boston Celtics, y'all know how I feel.
I want to know what you feel about Shai versus Tatum. Do you think that with
We're back.
the 3-year sample size of SGA in the playoffs, do you think is that much different than what Tatum offers in the playoffs? From a value standpoint, can you make the argument that you'd rather have Tatum over Shai in the playoffs?
I think you can make the argument because I think the biggest, knock on Tatum's game is just the efficiency. But Shai, just relative to what he does in the regular season, which he is a, efficient demon, but just relative to not even just him, but just, the NBA in the field is a less or under efficient. What's the word for it? Not
less efficient.
less efficient, inefficient version of himself.
Inefficient.
Inefficient. There we go. I got there eventually. But everything else that Tatum offers, I think he's a better defender, better rebounder, better playmaker. Shai just like one-on-one, just a pure scorer, go and get a bucket. I think I would take Shai pretty comfortably over Tatum. But it's funny that before this series, I don't think anyone is even considering it. And I feel like majority of people out there still aren't considering it because Shai does have just 2 back-to-back dominant regular seasons. He was better in the finals than Tatum was for sure as well. So he just has all of that going for him. But one series could change everything. One series from SGA and all of a sudden, I think rightfully so, he's out of the best in the world talks. I think Wemby's got that over him. People are talking about the runs that he's had in previous years, the matchups he's had in previous years. And it's funny because it's just like if they would have won game 7, which was like, a 5 or 6 point game in the fourth quarter, I don't think any of these conversations happen. But, history goes to the winner and the Spurs won. So shout out to them.
I think the conversations wouldn't have been as strong, but I think that they still would have been a bit harsh towards SGA. I think that in this series, he looked like one of the worst versions of themselves. And
But what if he dropped 40 and they win game 7?
But that's what I'm saying to you. I think that they wouldn't have been as harsh, but I still think that they would have occurred. I think that it would have been true that SGA was one of the worst we've seen him in the playoffs. And John, you're 100% right. This was a bad matchup for him. That was a bit known coming in for sure. You are back-to-back MVP. You're shooting under 40% from the field. You're shooting under 30% from 3. In the fourth quarter, you go absolutely ghost. But you know what? You were able to rally in game 7. It didn't leave the best impression on a conversation that already people had felt strongly that Victor had a seat at the best in the world table. But now on the opposite side, where you still did have that game, you did end up losing. It kind of just reinforced one, for me, not about SGA, not about Victor Wembanyama, but mainly that this Oklahoma City team is deep. It is a deep team full of great role players, but it is begging and screaming for a legitimate number 2. And last year, at minimum, you had Jalen Williams that you can rely on to relieve a bit of strain from SGA in certain moments. But in this situation, you didn't have J-Dub and Chet Holmgren, and SGA can scream it as loud as he wants that we need Chet Holmgren to be better or can be more a part of the offense. How do we get that going? Even SGA doesn't even have answers for that. And in this game 7, Dehls, you made an incredible video and an amazing statement to start this. The ultimate blessing for SGA is Chet Holmgren being horrendous and being the closest we've seen to Ben Simmons in a long time. Ben Simmons was terrified to score the basketball. Didn't shoot against Atlanta. Didn't shoot against Trae Young. That's a matchup at least where you think, hey, come on, Ben. It's Trae Young. Go up. This is a guy in Victor Wembanyama who's been screaming it. I want smoke. I have a problem with you because I think I'm better than you. And it's not even a conversation. And I'm making it known. And you kind of were just like, okay, I'm fine with this.
It's not even that. He wants to kill him, bro.
Hey,
He
no,
genuinely does.
quite literally.
The worst moment of his life was in, I guess it was U16
Yes.
against Chet,
Yes.
first team USA, and he'll maybe never forget that.
And I think that when I think about Chet Holmgren, I just can't help but be so harsh because there was a moment in time where people thought that they were peers. Like they should have been at the same table with one
Lumped
another.
together.
And it's just a rough time to see where that conversation was and where they are right now, where it is so obvious the gap between the two. But mainly, you needed him to be just aggressive. Not, all right, I'm going at Wemby every single time. Just be aggressive. Don't look like you want no parts of playing the game whatsoever. And that's where I think the value of Jalen Williams, J-Dub, really showed itself in this series where SGA in Game 7 is leaving it all out there. He's giving everything he's have. He's making tough contested twos. He's getting downhill. He's getting to the line. Where is my next guy that I can rely on? And the second best player for the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 7 was Jalen Williams. Number 6, the forward, off the bench. That's the problem. And I think that, yes, you have great depth, but SGA needed his number 2, and unfortunately, neither were available. One due to injury, one due to lack of effort.
I do want to add one more note, because I know we've had these Victor versus Shai debates in the show consistently, and I feel like there's always this overcorrection. When you look at the series, Victor was the better player. Victor, to me, is the best player in the world. But there's also this point where I think people just want to completely rip apart Shai. And I do believe that Victor was better in 4 of the 7 games. I also felt like Shai was better in games 2, 5, and 7. And when we have these discussions, specifically, it was this debate you guys had, you and Riv, we all knew at a certain point Victor was going to be the best in the world. No one, for the last 3 years, we've all known this was inevitable. It's the rise and the quickness of it, which people did not expect. 3 months
100%
ago,
agree.
people like me, I would have said we had to wait until the playoffs. We had to wait for Victor to play a playoff game until we say, hey, he's the best player in the world. But to me, I think those debates were more about we're not going to throw an expectation on a player, which is almost unfair and unrealistic. And more so, now that we had the sample size, we can judge it fairly. But I do feel like when we were having these conversations a few months ago, people are like, oh, we always knew this. It's like you had to wait to see it first. And we saw it, of course, but I do believe people are overlooking the fact Shai was still better for 3 of those 7 games.
It's the team success aspect too, right? I think it's the run that Wemby goes on. It's the fact that he gets to the finals in year 3. If Wemby went out there in the first round, right, and in a hypothetical world, they weren't the 2 seed, right? They were the 6 seed, and Wemby goes out there and he averages 28, 12, and 6 stocks or something ridiculous, but they lose in the first round, or maybe they scrape by and they lose in the second round. There would still be a lot of debates going into next season, but the fact that he was as dominant as he was, more than anything, was just like obviously his offensive impact. Because defensively, he's going to be the best player on the floor every single night. The fact that he was dropping 20 consistently, he had the upside of the game 1 where it's like, holy shit, he could just straight up take over this shit offensively, hit pull up threes, and do all this crazy shit that I wasn't expecting Wemby to do in year 3. But the individual success paired with the team success, yeah. I mean Wemby, it's really difficult to envision. And we said this. I don't want to be too overreactionary because we said this with Boston. We said this with the Thunder. Maybe said it with the Nuggets too. But you look at this Spurs team, you're like, holy shit, bro. Here we go for the next decade. You know what I mean? Like the team is obviously super young. You got the best in the world. You still got some draft capital down the line. I don't get ahead of myself because we have a finals to look forward to. But this feels like not only the coming out party for Wemby because he's been here, he's been doing this, but to do it on national stage, to do it in the WCF, it's ridiculous that we're seeing at 22 years old.
Dehls is saying this is the next dynasty, and John is saying, Drew, we knew Wemby was going to be this. That's what he said in the most polite way possible. He said, we all knew Wemby was going to be this good.
What it really is it pisses me off when people are like, Shai stole the MVP award from Wemby. No, Shai was the MVP. And I think there's this kind of blurred vision. So like the postseason, the regular season are 2 different things. And I really hate when people try to rush to a conclusion saying, because this postseason game, it reflects a regular season award. The other thing, too, which I agree with Dehls, since 2019, we haven't had a repeat conference champ. But when you look at the San Antonio team, there's really no way to game plan against. I mean, Oklahoma City did, I felt like, as good of a job as they possibly could to kind of neutralize his defense. It's impossible. So to me, when you look at the strengths that San Antonio has defensively, it's clear to me they had the best chance of being a repeat conference champ.
Well, we're gonna get teams that are gonna change their entire game plan and strategy in terms of like we have to build a team to stop Wemby.
That's why Eddie Amara is going to be the 5th overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that few weeks, a month ago at that point we did our mock draft.
OKC will trade up and take him, I think.
Yeah, I mean they have too much. I saw somewhere that if they use both of their draft picks, they're adding like $80 million in luxury tax. So it makes no sense to use both picks.
But they negate most of that penalty if they let Lou Dort walk and they re-sign Hartenstein on a team-friendly deal.
To me, Hartenstein feels not
essential?
only, but yes, essential. Like he has to be part of this team.
They need that experience.
The experience.
Forget
the
about the experience.
They want to have Shaq guard him.
It is mainly physicality.
Yeah,
exactly. Because
he was better than Chet. You can't was better than Chet. Nuts.
You can't be like Thomas Sorber coming off an injury. That's your assignment.
You
can't be. You can't say Jaden Quintance. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I apologize. Center from Kentucky, Arizona State, his freshman season. Mm-hmm. If he's a rookie, you're gonna put that assignment on Wemby. Eddie Amara, that's a rookie. Like you don't have any answers in the draft that are good enough for someone like Victor Wembanyama.
Is there even an answer for Victor
Wembanyama? Here's the unfortunate.
The Thunder have the best. Honestly, both the Minnesota and the Thunder on paper have the team and the roster construction to stop Wemby. None of them could do it.
Here's the unfortunate way to do it. Chet Holmgren, however many picks.
Put on 40 pounds.
However many picks, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It would go a long
That's
way.
the answer. Because Giannis Antetokounmpo has the physicality, has the athleticism to defend against him and to actually be one-on-one with him and not be afraid to go at him offensively either. He's not going to be afraid to do that. He's stronger than Wemby. He's stronger than 99% of the league. Yep. That's the answer. This is where we could be left with something scary from this. You want to talk about next dynasty for however many years. they could hit the red button.
Mhm.
That button could be pressed. Chet Holmgren is on his way to Milwaukee, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is now Oklahoma City Thunder. That is the fear. That's the only way that you could really be like, oh, what's the answer? There it is. That's the guy that can out physical him, that won't shy away in these moments.
That might not be available for the playoffs, though.
If that's the route you want to say. But then Victor Wembanyama
That is the
also
route
could have
that's
that
been
fear.
true.
God forbid. It's all these Victor Wembanyama, year 3 already, unfortunately. You have him with missed time in year 2 with the blood clot. He gets a concussion in this one. This season, missed almost the amount of games needed to not be eligible.
If I'm the Bucks, I don't want Chet. If you're giving me Chet and Ajay Mitchell, we could talk. We could talk.
Okay, and even still, Ajay Mitchell wasn't available for majority of the series, and we came into possessions away from winning and going on to the NBA Finals. To me, that's okay.
So if you're OKC and I'm Milwaukee, I'm calling you. I'm the GM.
Yes.
I want Chet Holmgren. I want Ajay Mitchell, and I want your 2 first-round picks
And
in
I
this
say,
draft.
And I say, do you need me to pay for the plane tickets? Do you need me to do that?
Does that deal get it done, or a future first, or one of the first that OKC possesses? It could be either or. I mean, they have a Clippers pick as well. So, if I essentially want Chet, who has now shown me his lowest low, but still is a all-star. Ajay Mitchell, who I think could blossom. The Bucks have a lottery pick in this upcoming draft. If they get 2 more picks from OKC, I feel like that accelerates their rebuild.
It's a great
And then
haul.
for the Thunder,
It's a great haul for the Bucks.
you get so much better. You get Giannis now paired with Shai. And that's the good thing about teams overtaking the reigning champions is that when that happens, it forces everybody in the league to get better. It forces everybody in the league to make more aggressive moves and to improve the product. And there is a reality this offseason that exists that we could see a Shai and Giannis pairing. Who knows how likely it is, but that possibility does exist.
And I'll tell you this, Joel, credit to you because I wasn't the hugest fan of the De'Aaron Fox move, and throughout this playoffs, he was wildly inconsistent. Game 7, he showed up.
He definitely
With
showed
15
up.
points, but they were
The
impactful.
loud 15.
Very loud 15.
Very loud.
It's funny because
15.
like 10 years down the line, we're going to say, man, Fox was huge in that game 7. And somebody's going to box score and say,
It's tough
it's
to-
15 points.
Box
Was
score-
it really that huge?
Box score watcher won't show you if a player's playing through injury too, and he has been playing through injury.
He has
Same with
been.
Dylan Harper, and those players are limited because of that. If you're Oklahoma City, would you rather trade Jalen Williams or Chet?
Chet.
Without a doubt.
Chet.
Because my matchup, my main concern is going to be Victor Wembanyama.
My concern is I think Chet needs a sports psychologist.
Can I
That's
tell
what
you
think.
this?
Against Wemby, dude, he folded up.
This could be a canon event. Truthfully, it genuinely could, because for Ben Simmons, we all thought,
followed him.
no,
There's
that's
two
it. He's
paths.
going to
His
go.
career was
He's going to
done.
be in the lab, going to be more aggressive, work on his jumper. We thought that because we think that in great players and players that have elite work ethic, that's what they're going to do. But the complete opposite happened. His career was completely derailed.
It's unfortunate because the potential's there for Chet and his game offensively. But when you watch him play, first of all, the jumper's so fucking slow. Like, you need to
It
speed up
takes
that
8
jumper
seconds to
by
get that
like
shit off.
40,
You
50%.
killed me when you sent that, man, because it's so fucking true.
The
As a
jumper's so
rookie,
slow.
He was an elite jump shooter.
He was, and I feel like the shot was quicker too when he was a rookie. And the way he moves is just like, he's not very fluid. He's not very smooth. It takes a lot of work. Like, I understand he averaged whatever 18, 19,
15, 16.
Didn't he average 18 1 year?
It might have been 17. You might be
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Either way, there was a
Yeah.
time where, like, in the regular season, he's averaging close to 20 points per game, and you don't just kind of fall into that. You don't stumble into that, especially on a team that has as much talent as OKC does. But this is a real gut check. If you're Chet, if you're the Thunder, like, I don't know what path this goes down. You know what he's giving you defensively. You know that you could trust he's gonna be one of the best rim protectors. He's gonna be DPOY candidate. That's great and that's awesome. If you're not going to show up at all, if you're going to be a complete zero offensively, it's just not good enough. Like, you can't go out there and just be a defensive force. That's not good enough. Like, you have to be able to play both ways. You have to be able to to attack closeouts. You have to be able to take advantage of mismatches. I'm not asking you to go out there and be better than Wemby one-on-one. It's never going to happen. Unfortunately, the brother's just better than you. But you have to be able to take advantage of Devin Vassell and Champagnie and De'Aaron Fox. Those are the matchups you have to be able to take advantage of. And then on the other side, when Wemby is guarding you, you have to take advantage of that. He's roaming off of you. He's helping off of you. If you have an open 3, you have to pop it. You have to try. So Chet's got a lot of work to do. He is the X factor for this OKC team. if he goes into next year the same version we just got from him, they don't have a chance because Wemby's just gonna be better. The Spurs are just gonna be better.
I'm gonna say this, and it's the last thing I'm gonna talk about when it comes to Victor Wembanyama for the show. There's no way you can convince me that everybody thought that in year 3.
Oh, you still talking about that?
That he would be better than Nikola Jokic, that he would be better than Luka Doncic,
Yeah, that's true.
that he'd be better than SGA. There is no way you can convince me at the age of 22 years old that everybody would come to this universal agreement and say that. There's no way that you can sit here, look me in the eyes and say that. If you can say, oh no, in year 5, year 6, year 7, this is the stamped best player in the world. Okay, that's a different conversation. You cannot look me straight in my eyes and tell me that he was going to be better than 3-time in 4 years MVP Nikola Jokic. You cannot look me in my eye and tell me that he was going to be better than back-to-back MVP, Finals MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You can't look me in my face and say that. You cannot look me in my face and tell me he was going to be better than Luka Doncic, second most points in playoffs per
I
game.
could have saw that.
You cannot tell me that.
What about you, Drew? I mean, sorry, I called you Drew. What about you, John? Can you see that or no?
Well, he is on the cusp of one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen from a 22-year-old.
Easily, this is probably
Top
number
5
one.
company. Top 5 company. We got Magic.
Unless
we got
Magic,
Duncan.
Magic technically year 1, 22.
What Wemby is doing is sensational. He's also the best prospect since LeBron James.
For sure.
This was possible. This was. When he had his blood clot a year ago, right before that point, in the middle of his second season, I saw him as a top 10 player in the world. This was possible. And I think you're 100% right, and you're fair to feel that way. I do want to kind of continue, though, because I have nothing else to add, honestly, to it. I do want to continue on the Chet Holmgren point, because I think it is a massive domino in trying to dethrone San Antonio in this Western Conference hierarchy. We saw the warning signs with Ben Simmons. He never improved offensively. And the 3 issues with Chet Holmgren, I think the biggest one for me is the fact that he is the same exact offensive player that he was when he first came to the NBA after missing his rookie season. And with that lack of physicality, Oklahoma City did not trust him to guard Victor Wembanyama. And as the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year, you expect him to be able to hold up in that matchup to some capacity, and they basically said, we can't have him on him. And then the third question for me, and this is why I'm willing to move off him this offseason, Chet next season is going to be starting a $254 million contract. And this is not someone who we've looked at as a durable player. Like, there are legitimate injury questions with Chet at 24 years old to where I'm giving Chet that type of money, and I haven't seen the development, and he has missed almost 2 full seasons so far through 4 years. I think there is enough reward again to Giannis Antetokounmpo that I would rather trade him than Jalen Williams. But there's also, just in a perfect world, Chet's a great player slot next to Giannis. But even then, if I'm Oklahoma City, I think there is a serious risk if he's going to be injured for a large portion of that contract that it's going to become an asset like Michael Porter Jr. And that is the worst possible thing for a team like Oklahoma City that's all these assets because you want to avoid one of those contracts, which puts you in a bind. So if I'm Oklahoma City this all season, I agree with you guys. I would definitely include Chet. Ajay Mitchell, I would not. If I was able to add in an extra 2 or 3 first-round picks, I would. Because partially he's on a good contract.
He's on one of the best contracts,
One
if
of
not
the
the
very
best in the NBA.
The thing is, if Jalen Williams comes back and he just has to be 2024 Jalen Williams, I can live with AJ Mitchell walking and being a part of that trade. It'll suck. Don't get me wrong. That contract is one of the best in basketball. You're 100% right. A main reason why he was able to have so much of that opportunity was because J-Dub missed damn near the whole year. It felt that way because when he was on the court, it wasn't what we knew Jalen Williams has shown us in the past. His offense took a severe hit. The one healthy game we saw from him was in game 1 of this Western Conference Finals, and he was their best player, you could argue. So that's where I feel like it's easy for me. I understand AJ Mitchell was super impactful for them. One of the great ascending players for their team and in the NBA as a whole, considering how much he was getting paid. But your X factor, like Dehls said, your Achilles heel is how great of an anchor you have on the defensive side of the ball in Chet Holmgren and what he could potentially be offensively. I don't need an idea anymore, especially when the 22-year-old kid already showed you that he's good enough to do it on his own and do it at this early of an age and get past you.
On his own?
Okay, strong wording. But even still, the fact that he's still able to do that this early into this career.
Without like I don't want to be disrespectful, but like not a real deal running mate like we've
All
seen in
NBA
years
player.
past. Yeah.
I'm not going to
ascending
say
All-NBA players,
we can't
yeah.
say on his own because this Spurs team is
They have
really
a
good.
great-
Castle's
Yeah.
averaging
And-
19
No, Castle's been
in the
great.
playoffs.
No,
Castle
that's why I wanted to
ascending,
stop,
looking
but-
like a riser. The fact that De'Aaron Fox is still injured but playing through. Dylan Harper ascending in the playoffs.
Fox has been
Champagny, I can't sing his praises enough.
It's been awesome.
What a series he had.
He's changed their entire lineup, having
'Cause
him in the corner.
Keldon, also credit to him. Game 7, he came through with some big shots down the stretch. He was a basic no-show this Western Conference Finals. Hit some big shots. Don't get me wrong, but him not riding to the occasion. But Champagny realizing he had an opportunity to shine, and he 100% did. This Spurs team definitely showed its
They're deep. They're deep.
Yes and no. Yes.
How could it be yes and no?
Are you meaning to say they're not a complete team, but they are a deep team?
I don't know how I want to vocalize
I
this.
think they're a deep team. If you have 8 players you can trust in the playoffs, you're
Are
a
they
deep team.
8? I don't think 8.
I think it's De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle.
Do I trust
Devin Vassell.
De'Aaron Fox?
Oh, I think you have to. He's starting.
No, you have exactly.
He's a former
That's
All-Star.
what I'm asking.
That has
Right
shown
now,
healthy,
forget about
yeah.
formal. Right now, like for game to game, I don't know
Well,
what I'm
just
getting.
2 years
even
ago.
still, if he's not the third best player, he's at least like the sixth.
No, he's a
best
great-
player. Like,
Are
you
we
know what I
really-
mean?
Okay,
if
no.
we're stopping at
I'm not
De'Aaron
going to stop
Fox-
you. I'm just going to say
Okay.
he's just been inconsistent this whole
If
playoff.
we're stopping at De'Aaron Fox and everybody else is not
Stephon
somebody I
Castle,
can
I'm
name.
here for. Stephon Castle for sure. Dylan Harper, I'm here for. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama. Champagny
And not-
has shown
and
me
you're
enough.
thinking about Fox?
It's just
If you're-
what
you're not
game to
including
game version am I
contracts.
getting?
I understand what you're saying, but if we're not factoring contract here, De'Aaron Fox is a quality rotation
course he
player.
is.
So he's included in that top 8.
Well, again, 8. That's where my point is with De'Aaron is yes, he's De'Aaron Fox, but game to game, true or false, he's inconsistent.
then you
Yeah,
can
he's
say,
the
you can
best
say that with
series.
most NBA teams, rotational players that aren't an established All-Star.
Dude,
or
it's
a
De'Aaron
consistent
Fox.
All-Star.
He's been disappointing in moments, but they don't advance to the NBA Finals without what he did in Game 7. He was huge for them. He swung the momentum of the game.
Mhm.
He has spurts without Wemby on the floor where he was the one making things happen. I understand he's been disappointed. He's also been dealing with an injury. It's De'Aaron Fox, dude. If we're saying
Why are we
De'Aaron
talking
Fox,
about De'Aaron Fox?
We need to
Like
get
he's-
to Luke Cornett and Harrison Barnes.
I mean, like
That's
Luke
what we need to
Cornett
do.
was pretty subpar this.
But that block, man,
Exactly.
that's going
He
down
had-
history.
they're like is
But
that
here we
going
have
down.
Fox, Harper, Vassell, Dylan Harper, Victor Wembanyama, Julian Champagny. That's 6.
You should
Then
be
you have-
talking about Carter Bryant. Like that
Carter
is
Bryant,
understandable as a
yeah.
rookie who has a lot of growing
That's why I'm not
pains.
going to talk about Carter Bryant because we understand that he's
But the way you're talking about Fox is like how I would talk about Carter Bryant. right
no
now, as one of
Fox
those-
is one that we should be relying on and trusting that he's my number 2 after I paid him $40 a year.
He's been disappointing relative
That's
to
the
his expectation.
statement.
Dude, they have
But it's just
8.
so-
They have 8 good rotation players. That's the statement. The statement is that they have 8 rotation players in the playoffs that are good.
But it's like if De'Aaron Fox in this world is the 4th best player on the Spurs,
sure.
that's a lot better than basically everyone.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that. Even still, 4th is
I don't
He's
think
still
he
better
did
than
it
that.
on his own. It's not a knock. Wemby had the most
of course.
impact
I'm not
by
saying
far,
that.
and Wemby had the best impact of any player in the playoffs thus far. He's been the best player in the playoffs. He led the Spurs for sure. He led the Spurs to this moment, and now they're going to have a chance to win a championship in his 3rd season. He puts himself in rare company. The Ajay Mitchell point I get from you because you're getting people have said this guy has all-star potential at $10 million or less per
He's
year.
making less than $3
Or I
million.
thought-
He's
Yeah.
making $2.8 million next 2 years.
Thank you for
nuts,
correcting me.
bro.
That is the best value contract. That is like having Brock Purdy on a rookie
He
deal.
was the most impactful 6-man in basketball this year.
So is he a non-starter? If the Giannis comes up, whatever, whoever that star is that you think gets you over the hump.
They have 5 firsts the next 2 years in a swap. I would include an extra 2 or 3 first-round picks before I put
What if
AJ
the player,
Mitchell on
what
that
if the player's
cost
like, no,
control
we want
contract.
AJ. We
Then
need
Milwaukee kick rocks. Then Giannis has 1 guaranteed year left in his
You're
contract.
not getting nothing better
like
for Giannis.
you're not
That
going
is
to
true.
get. There's not a team with more cachet than Oklahoma City. Giannis has 1 year in his contract and a player option. If Milwaukee's telling you we also
Fair
want,
point, John.
if we want Chet, AJ, and 7 first-round picks, then go find a better deal elsewhere because you won't. I'll give you the 5 first-round picks and Chet Holmgren. That's the best you're going to get. I'm not also. Well, a lot of those are like
protection.
Denver,
To be fair,
Utah,
Pascal
top
was
10
on last
protected.
year of his deal. He still got 3 firsts for him. I mean,
And
yeah,
Chet,
Chet's fair, fine.
Chet's like 3 firsts by himself.
Five, I don't
probably.
think it'll happen. But that's like the Jared Goff,
But,
Matthew
like,
Stafford
yeah,
trade.
When
Chet
you're an
plus 2 maybe.
When you're in Oklahoma City's shoes, you're not just going to give away the best valued contracts when you have a $250 million payroll next season Yeah, you can.
But also, if you get off Chet's contract, is that not like
He's
Giannis
making
coming
41,
back.
and Giannis is making 50 something.
Yeah.
So you get to like 236.
They're
You, of
coming up
course,
on
And
second
Giannis's
April's
contract,
the Lou
which they
Dort,
have to extend him to.
the Lou Dort team option, definitely declining that. And I think the Isaiah, you'd have to include extra salaries. So like Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, you might need a third team to make the salary work, because I was trying to do it before. It's very difficult. And there's other reports they're trying to move off those superfluous rotation players. But even then,
Like Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
There's so
That's
many
10
other
million.
players they have to pay or ideally would like to that are going to have potential extensions coming up, like a Jared McCain or even like a Isaiah Hartenstein once you decline
Yeah,
that
well,
player.
Jared
team
McCain
option.
make it a little like I understand. AJ Mitchell was great. He had a great run. I feel like Jared McCain, what we saw in the playoffs, makes it a little bit easier to swallow if you have to move off him. Just because you have a reliable
I like
ball
that
handler
statement.
under, behind Shai. If there was no Jared McCain there, they'd be like, okay, he is vital. AJ Mitchell is great. He's probably better than Jared McCain, just straight up.
Definitely.
But
He is.
I'm just saying, in terms of you already have that, like lead guard kind of behind SGA. That if you had to, I don't think Sam Presti will. From what we've seen, like he's someone that is not going to give up value wherever he can find fit. He's going to find the extra margins. But I feel like McCain gives you a little more wiggle room if you have
Like
to.
the 3-point shooting.
What if the
That's what they need,
Yeah.
the spacing and the shot
Sure.
making. That's the main thing.
What if the Bucks were just? What if the Oklahoma City went to the Bucks and just like, if you really want AJ Mitchell, we're giving you a singular first.
Chet Mitchell on the first. That's still not bad.
Are you kidding
Still
me?
not
Like
bad at all.
you keep all your picks.
Yeah.
To me, AJ Mitchell on that contract is
You'd rather
vital.
give 4 first than AJ Mitchell's contract.
My concern, Drew, is Jalen Williams has not been healthy the last 2 postseasons.
To
He's
be fair,
played through
it's his
injury.
I
hamstring.
mean, AJ Mitchell might be really good though.
Last
I don't
year it was his
disagree.
hands.
Though he
He's-
might be way more valuable than what those 3 first.
He's
can
one of the
be.
most valuable assets. And I understand you're looking at just like the number 4 or 5 first round picks. A lot of those are lottery protected or from playoff teams like a Denver. And to me, if I'm Oklahoma City, I'm not like these picks aren't that useful to me because we already have Thomas Sorber, Nikola Topic. Those were top 15 picks. And in Topic's case, he was projected to be top 5 pick before his ACL tear and subsequently fall in the draft. Like we've already seen that they don't have enough room to play these rotation players anyways. So I'm gonna rely on that elite contract because AJ Mitchell this year in the postseason, he was legitimately like
He was
their third best player in the playoffs.
second best player
arguably.
against the Lakers.
So when you look at guys like him and Alex Caruso, they're just indispensable to run it back. And I don't think you can take it for granted by putting him in that contract. If you do, in Milwaukee, I feel like he would immediately blossom into an efficient 20-point per game scorer. And who knows how good of a playmaker he can be in a lead role. So I would really be hard pressed. I wouldn't say he's a non-starter in that trade for me, but I will do everything else before I'm giving you AJ and then Jalen Williams.
If that is the only deal that Milwaukee will accept, AJ, Chet, a first.
I'm not doing it.
You're just hanging up
Not
the
doing
phone. You're running it back. It is what it is.
I'll say the best offer I'm giving you is Chet and 4 firsts.
It could be. It is what it is. I mean, it's not a crazy statement, dude. They lost in 7 games in a close game with J-Dub hurt, not playing in the series in the latter half of it, and AJ Mitchell also missing games.
Could this?
And Chet playing like absolute shit, the worst version we're probably ever going to see of him. They could have won that series with Chet playing like that if J-Dub and AJ were healthy in the series.
Could you also argue that this is also maybe the worst the Spurs are going to be?
You could definitely
Possibly.
They're going
but-
to continue getting better.
Is the gap that large to where a healthy J-Dub, a healthy AJ Mitchell, Shai shooting better? Because although the Wemby factor is real, and we have to give him credit for how they were able to stifle Shai offensively, later in the series, it was more one-on-one, but Wemby's paint presence, it's the reason why Shai can't get to the basket. But we've also seen another team in the Dallas Mavericks be able to have a similar game plan with Lively and Gafford protecting the basket. The difference is that Shai's shot making in that series was absurd. And it's not like he's not capable of it, because in game 7, we were watching it and saying, there's no way they could guard him. He was hitting
awesome,
every
bro.
tough shot.
It was awesome.
And that's what makes Shai special. So he's going to shoot better throughout the course of a series. So you didn't get the best Shai performance. You didn't get J-Dub. You didn't get AJ Mitchell. You didn't get the best version of Chet. You got the worst version of Chet. And if you're banking against him getting better from this moment, then maybe you could hit the panic button. And then you also have 2 first-round picks you could add from the draft once you let Lou Dort walk, and you can maybe bring back Isaiah Hartenstein. OKC next year, how I see it, they're still going to be the deepest team in the league. They're still going to have probably the best big 3 in the league, if not number 2, if not top 3. OKC, they don't need to panic right now, but the allure of getting Giannis is pretty freaking massive. Like, that's also an opportunity that you have to do your due diligence on. But John, is somebody that you said earlier, that you thought things were possible. You thought this outcome was possible for Wemby. I want to ask you, is the outcome possible for the Knicks to win the NBA championship this year? Because on Polymarket, they're giving them a 36% chance to win it all.
For the Knicks?
36%. 36%.
surprised.
The Spurs are at a 64% chance to win the NBA Finals. They're saying we think the Spurs are the heavy favorite. We think this is Tim Duncan reincarnated in a replay of 1999. And I'm here to say we're not the same 8 seed. I think we're getting disrespected. When I was doing the top 10 list of the players in both series.
I love when you do those lists, by the way.
Me too.
Thank you. I felt as if this is a really even matchup. It's going to be a great series. I'd be dumb to overlook the San Antonio Spurs. They're an amazing team. But the way the Knicks are playing, the advantages they have, I thought that this is like a 50-50 series. But people still think the Knicks are fake. And that's why they're fading us. They still think, it's not sustainable how opponents shoot from 3. They've had bad 3-point shooting luck. You heard Kenny Atkinson say, analytically, we won 2 games. People are saying that the Knicks are just getting lucky right now. But I think this is just a magical season. That's what I think. And I think nothing would be better than cementing their dominance against a team like San Antonio that has been the second best team in the league all year long, that just beat the number 1 quote-unquote team in the league in the OKC Thunder. Jalen Brunson, last 6 matchups, averages 30 points and 7 assists against the Spurs. OG Anunoby is the best Wemby defender across 100 matchups. There have only been 20 players to defend Wemby across 100 matchups. OG allows the fewest points. Karl Anthony Towns spacing out the floor, changing in Josh Hart for Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride to have a 5-out offense. There are advantages that the Knicks have playing with space, having switchable defenders, having bodies, having the experience that I think bodes well for the Knicks, and they have their advantage. And I think the Spurs have their advantage too. But what do you think, John? Do you think this is more of a 50-50 series, or are you leaning Spurs in this one by a margin?
How would you put the odds?
I'll get to that in a moment. I can't wait for this matchup.
Don't let me rush you.
A rematch of the 1999 finals. My number one hope is that we have both teams healthy, which is obviously goes without being said, but we haven't really gotten that for the entirety of this postseason. I hope we get San Antonio, their guys, De'Aaron and Dylan Wright, as well as for the Knicks, OG Anunoby being exactly what he was and not having any sort of hamstring issues to reemerge. And I'm excited for this series because of the fact I think this is an even matchup. San Antonio has the best player in Victor Wembanyama, but I do believe this Knicks offense has the best chance of scoring on San Antonio compared to Oklahoma City that was very limited, very thin. And my excitement for the Knicks comes in the fact that I do believe when you have this closing lineup, especially when you're getting the extra shooting with Landry Shamet, that they have enough offensively, enough ball handlers, enough decision makers, and just enough shooting to make this an even series. And I want to highlight the biggest thing for me. It's Jalen Brunson in this matchup. I believe it's crazy as it sounds. We saw Shai struggle against Wemby. This is a series that's more geared toward a mid-range maestro like Brunson because he doesn't have to get to the rim necessarily as much. And I'm curious to see how the Knicks are able to get him because he's going to have Castle, Harper, maybe even Carter Bryant guarding him at different points. I'm curious to see how Mike Brown's able to get their offense to get Brunson, whether it's in pick and roll or a motion-heavy look, to get Brunson off of those guys onto a Champagnie, onto a Keldon Johnson, maybe onto a Vassell, although he's defended well. And I do believe that Brunson's going to play well in the series. I would even argue he'll play better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did in the conference finals. Right now, I'm kind of curious to hear where you guys stand on this. I'm taking San Antonio by a razor-thin edge, but I can hear the Knicks winning the series. I can see them winning the series because of the fact that they have the depth, they have the overall creation offensively. And my biggest concern for the Spurs in this matchup is that if Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle are not their very best, the Knicks just have more firepower offensively. So I can be swayed here to hear the Knicks, and I'll probably set these odds at about a 45-55 or even like a 50-50 split. But I think it really is going to come down to who the healthier team is. And you know what? Here's the other thing that I forgot to mention in this.
Classic.
The Knicks rest advantage. 8-day rest advantage on the Spurs? Or is it a 5-day rest advantage? I believe that's crucial for them because of the fact San Antonio, after going to a Game 7, is not going to have that same luxury that the Knicks do. And with that in mind, I do believe in a war of attrition, that can honestly sway things in the Knicks' favor. For as razor
You
thin
got
as
the
the margins
Knicks.
are. I told y'all before, I can hear the Knicks in this matchup. My gut's telling me the Spurs, and I kind of want to hear where y'all stand.
The Spurs, and so do you have a set prediction, or are you still waiting for others to give their points for you to make it?
I don't have a set prediction. I don't see this going to 7 games. I feel like whoever wins this series will win it more convincingly because their strengths will just be that much
We
stronger.
don't have it anywhere in the room other than I think Tyler. Tyler, you just do me a favor. Just scoot out a bit and just kind of like puff your chest out real quick just so he can read what your shirt says. All
What-
right, sweet. I
Pick
just
a
need you to
side.
do me a favor and just do that.
Well, I think he picked a side.
So we're going with
The Spurs, right?
I don't know what you said definitively.
But I
here's-
was trying to
here's-
help you out here,
John, I'm saying this to you because Polymarket is a proud sponsor to Pick a Side podcast. And for every
Hey, Poly.
Knicks winning the NBA championship, I will put $250 on the Knicks to win a championship on Polymarket.
Ooh.
So
250.
are you going with yes or no?
To
We
win
should
the
all do
series.
it. They can put a rack on it.
How about you put $1,973?
That's amazing. That's genius, actually.
Thank you. I'm gonna say this, John. You said a lot of good. I just, I wish you put a bow on it. I will. I want the Knicks to win. I'm rooting for the Knicks.
He's picking the Spurs.
Bro's
Don't-
got a Wemby jersey
don't-
saying I'm rooting for this Knicks.
don't-
What's going on here?
Well, this was solely for River Brown. It's unfortunate he's not here. Really, it is. It's sad. It
Mr.
makes me
Duck.
sad. I'm disheartened about it. I just want him to read it. That's all I wanted.
So let me ask you, when LeBron retires, are you a Wemby fan? Are you a Spurs fan?
I'm straight up NBA.
Here, you got to be a Knicks fan after LeBron retires.
Am I getting the full pass to be a Knicks fan?
Yes.
I would love that.
You
be a
need
Knicks
to
fan.
be a Knicks fan. And
I
this
love the Knicks.
This is the perfect time to do it. So while you're at it, while you pick the Knicks in this series, let me add $250 to Polymarket, take your shirt off, and wear that Knicks hat behind you. Because it's
So
right
the whole
there.
time just shirt off. Knicks hat.
we give him the Knicks sweater right there.
Give him a Knicks sweater. Oh, this is nice,
I won't
dude.
put that on for you, bro. I know that that's sacred for you, bro. I want to say this.
This is
It-
vintage.
Joel, it means a lot to me that you're welcoming me on to the Knicks fandom as you are. It really does mean a lot because I've been here. I love the Knicks, love Jalen Brunson, love everything about the Knicks. Maybe the only thing that you could call me out on is my disdain for Mikal Bridges. That's the one thing I would say I've been consistent on. Never a huge fan of that move. And Mikal made me eat words in the Eastern Conference Finals. He was nothing short of perfect. He was excellent in that ECF. But I want the Knicks to win. I'm wearing this mainly so I could have heard River Brown tell me that Wemby was the best in the world. That's the only reason I did it. I knew I needed to get this out of the way now because while the NBA Finals are going, I'm going to be rooting for the New York Knicks. I want Brunson to win a championship. I want the undersized guard to that narrative to kind of get put to bed, showing that if you have a good roster, if your roster is complete enough, if you have the right leader, the right star at the helm, it is possible. Steph Curry is one of one. I don't think we'll ever see another one. Maybe we will see another copycat, but we'll never see the guy with the impact the way that Steph has. The way that he's able to run around the court. He felt like the last of a dying breed in terms of undersized guards being able to get over that and win at multiple championships. But what Jalen Brunson has shown is that come playoff time, he rises to the occasion. He loves the moment. He is clutch. And on top of it all, he has a great supporting cast around him to go ahead and be able to be in this position to win the series. I think what the Knicks have shown you is that they are a dominant team. I do think that what poses the biggest problem of them all is what is going to happen when Jalen Brunson, and if Jalen Brunson struggles. Is Karl Anthony Towns going to be able to pick up that slack and be able to assert himself and be that number two that he needs to be in this series in order to win? Is OG Anunoby going to be the best version of himself? I trust that to be real because OG Anunoby has been one of the most consistent Knicks players. I believe in Karl Anthony Towns because this season, all he's shown you is growth and flexibility and being whatever player you need him to be. I want the Knicks to win really badly. I just think that after beating the Oklahoma City Thunder, after showing that experience doesn't really matter to them. I do believe I give the slight edge to the San Antonio Spurs. Lord knows I want the Knicks to win. I want that championship in New York. I want to go into the city. I want to experience a parade. It'll be excellent. And mainly because a guy like Jalen Brunson, a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, these guys deserve to be NBA champions because of how team first they are. And Karl Anthony Towns does not get enough credit for that from outside, but I know that in this room we understand how flexible and how easy it is for him to just do whatever the team needs him. You need me to be a playmaker? Okay, I could do that for you. You need me to learn how to be better on the defensive side of the ball? Okay, I can do that for us. You need me to be aggressive and offensively score the basketball? I could do that for you. He has just been so underappreciated, undervalued this whole year, and I think that a championship truly would give him the respect that I think that he has failed to receive throughout the entirety of his career. I really want the Knicks to win. I just think I have the Spurs in 7.
I feel betrayed. I feel heartbroken.
Do you want me to pick the Knicks off vibes?
No, it's too late now.
Okay.
Your heart lies somewhere else, and it's clear with the jersey you're wearing. You want this more than you want the Knicks championship.
No, I really don't want the Spurs to win.
Okay. That's fair. I'll take your word for it. But
Okay.
I think Wemby, it would bring a lot of joy to you seeing him win.
It wouldn't bring me as much joy as seeing Jalen Brunson be an NBA champion. That really would be.
So why aren't you wearing a Brunson jersey?
Don't own one.
That is a David versus Goliath moment. John, you still haven't given me a clear answer. I'll get back to you. So before I know what Dehls is picking.
What are you talking about?
I know that he's going with the Spurs. He doesn't want the Knicks to win.
I definitely don't want them to win. But that doesn't impact my analysis.
So what is your analysis? And before you get into it, just give me your prediction, please.
My prediction?
I just want to get the Band-Aid off completely.
The Spurs in 6 or 7. I think you definitely go 7. I think it's a long series.
Okay.
It'll be so bad if the Knicks lose in 7.
And
the
I know
city will be devastated.
Oh yeah, I know that Riv's going to pick the Spurs. He was very adamant in thinking their run wasn't impressive in the Eastern Conference.
That lost me.
I spoke to him before he took Spurs in 6.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
John, it's you. You're the lone survivor here. Are you going to go with the Knicks or the Spurs?
I feel like John gave us
My
his
pre-show
answer.
analysis was Spurs. There's a few stats that I have, which make me start to see the Knicks winning the series.
Here we go.
One of them is in the last decade, the team with the rest advantage, 7-3, 4 in the last 4 years. And the Knicks have a 5-day rest advantage, 9 days to 4. I believe that matters in a series like this because, and I know we've had a couple of injuries here and there, like Mitchell Robinson's pinky finger.
That's the biggest of them all, truthfully.
I do believe he'll tape it together, and luckily he doesn't. I think he'll be able to play through it.
Just fucking play defense, grab a rebound.
I do believe that the Knicks match up very well against San Antonio, better than Oklahoma City does. And I believe, like Joel said, with OJ Anunoby, you have someone that can guard Wemby because he has the physicality. He has the length to at least defend him well enough on drives. And I do believe that in this series, you can see OJ Anunoby be one of the 3 best players because this postseason, he has been that good on both sides of the floor. And I truly believe when he's at his best too, you're getting that secondary creation alongside Brunson. So I am starting to see a vision. I saw it before the show where I definitely see the Knicks having a strong chance to win the series. I've been torn because of the fact I feel like San Antonio is the better team, but hold my head to the fire. I'll take the Knicks in 6 games.
There we go.
I like it.
That's going to be my selection. I got
All
Tyler
right.
laughing over there. I'm not sure.
I need you to pick someone.
And this
Well, John,
I'm
at
gonna
first you were
take-
saying 55% Spurs in the beginning.
I said
That's why I thought.
55-45, and I could see it being 50.
he was getting
There's
swayed.
nothing
He's
wrong.
like
There's nothing
polymarking. He
wrong
was
with
moving
that.
in real
And
time.
nothing
that
wrong
was
with
kind
that.
of beautiful.
That's what he was
terms of
doing.
poly
I'll tell you what. When I recollected the fact, not only have the Knicks been dominant in this playoff run, the best point differential in NBA history for any team entering the finals, but when I remembered the fact that in this series, I believe the rest advantage will play a factor, that definitely sways the margins by 5% for sure. And I also can see a world where, and I said this before, Brunson's going to play better than Shai in my eyes because I still believe with the three-point shooting and the mid-range shot creation, he's not going to be as limited as Shai because three-point shot was very streaky and you're reliant on him getting the three-throw line. But I just believe with the Knicks' diversity of creation between Mikal as a play finisher, OG, Josh Hart, they're going to probably have Wemby on Josh Hart for a large part of the series. But when you take him out and put Landry Shaman in, you're going to have Wemby guarding Cat, and he's probably going to play off Cat a little bit and dare him because for as great of a three-point shooter as Cat is, he's been reluctant as a three-point shooter this playoff run. He's only taken 3 threes per game. I really want to see Cat in the series start to fire them more where he's being guarded out there. And I expect Mike Brown to continue using him as his playmaking hub from the top to key. And I just believe this Knicks offense can pose a lot more issues than any of the 3 teams that San Antonio has played. To me, it's not a mirage. The Knicks had the best point differential and have been on this dominant, 10-game run going to the finals.
Yep.
I do believe that they have the exact recipe for San Antonio. And a lot of time in the postseason, matchups and health play the biggest impact. And I believe that's where the Knicks can get it done. I'll take the Knicks in 6 games.
To add on to what John is saying,
Let's go.
Poly market 64% chance for the Spurs. Knicks, it's 36% chance. John, you just said on the show, episode 580, that 5% is swayed with the rest advantage. So now that puts the Knicks at a 41% chance and the Spurs at a 59% chance. Then the other 5% comes from the regular season matchups in which the Knicks were 2-1. And the most points that the Spurs surrendered to a team in the regular season, was the New York Knicks. And they're going to guard Wemby with They're going to guard Josh Hart with Wemby. And did you know how Mike Brown adjusted in the regular season to that? He made Josh Hart set a season-high 18 picks and involved Victor Wembanyama into the action so he's not just roaming off. When I think of those things, and I think of the Knicks' 11-game win streak, and I think of the Knicks having the best three-point percentage in the playoffs to get somebody like Wemby out the paint, that's another 5%. So then we're getting to 46% chance. Okay. And now you got the Spurs at a 54% chance. All right. And then when you look at the other 5%, and then you realize that Jalen Brunson defies all logic.
That matters.
Can't
you
put that to the
can't
side.
argue that.
Can't put that to the side.
Shai
series, man.
struggled against the Spurs. Yeah, common sense and logic would tell you Jalen Brunson will struggle too. If the multiple time MVP struggled, logic would tell you Jalen Brunson should struggle. But then you realize that Jalen Brunson averaged 32 points per game against the Pistons last season against Asar Thompson, who's a better defender than Stephon Castle, who will be Jalen Brunson's primary matchup. When you understand that Jalen Brunson, being in this moment, being a 6'2", 6'1" guard that led his team to the NBA Finals as a 1A, in which Becky Hammond said he could not do, that defies all logic. With Jalen Brunson, logic goes out the window, and that's an extra 5% for the Knicks. So then we get to 51% for the Knicks, and we get to 50% for the Spurs. 49% for the Spurs. When you get to that point, the Knicks have the favorite odds in the series, and that's why they will be winning the championship. They will be winning in 6 games. This has been a team that I have doubted multiple times. But one thing that I have said for sure, not on the show, it was behind closed doors, because I could think behind the show. And, all my thoughts don't come from the show, or do I say them? Sometimes I keep them tight. They say, keep your dreams close. Don't air them out. I told my cousin, hey, listen, when we won the NBA Cup, I said, if we play the Spurs, I think we could win the NBA Finals. And this is a potential matchup. This matchup can happen. I foreshadowed the finals before it even happened. I told them we could win it. And I've had doubts about this team, but I got no chance but to believe in them now. I'm sinking all the way with the ship. They're either going to, this is all I have. I might not see this again for another 25 years.
God forbid.
It might be that long. You're right. The Knicks are finally a good organization. But this is the moment, because the next 10 years might be the Wemby reign of terror. This is the best chance to get them. Mm-hmm. This is the absolute best chance to get them. Say, let's go. We're all in. Jalen Brunson, David versus Goliath. You know who won that matchup?
Talk to him.
Listen, I think the Knicks have a real chance. John, when he originally said his first monologue, he didn't pick a team, but he picked a team. He said the Spurs 55, the Knicks 45. That's where my mind went to automatically.
Me too.
I thought the Spurs have a slight advantage, but the Knicks undoubtedly have a chance in this series. To me, this isn't like Boston, Dallas, where I just felt like Boston just across the board. There's no chance Dallas could win. It's even a little bit closer to last year's Pacers Thunder, where I think everyone is looking at the Thunder just like they're looking at the Spurs as these are the favorites, right? They were probably arguably the better regular season team. They had the best player, but the opponent, gives you some unique challenges that the other team just hasn't seen yet. And while the Thunder are better than the Knicks, I do think the Knicks match up better with the Spurs. And at the end of the day, we know playoff basketball just comes down to matchups. When you look at the defenders the Spurs have, Obviously, you have Jalen Brunson, who's a smaller guard that I'm sure Stephon Castle's going to guard. But the rest of the shot creators, play finishers, as John said, on this team, they're mostly larger players, right? Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart in transition, Karl Anthony Towns. These are all bigger individuals that you could take advantage of if you have a Devin Vassell on them or Champagnie on them, even with Wemby on the back line. It's just a different challenge for the Spurs defense, although they're super connected and, they have guys that can guard on the perimeter. And of course you have Wemby on the back line. It's just different from OKC, where you're really just worried about Shai getting his buckets off. And then when they were healthy, it was Ajay Mitchell, guard, Jared McCain, guard. J-Dub played like 1 or 2 games, and Chet was kind of non-existent. It was a lot of guard play and guard creation, where the Knicks have more than just beyond that, right? Then obviously Brunson's the head of the snake, but there's just more options that they have and more versatility they have when it comes to scoring the basketball. So it's just something that, the Spurs, it's just different than what the Thunder offered. It's just a different challenge they're going to have to be able to overcome. And right now, I think the rest advantage matters some, but the Spurs are also getting like 5 days off. Like, I think they're getting enough rest that it's not going to be as big of a situation. You got to hope that, Dylan Harper looks a little bit better, even though he played great. De'Aaron Fox looks more like the game 7 than the games 1 through 6. But the Knicks have a real chance in this series. I think Mike Brown has shown that he's able to adjust as series goes on and as the playoffs goes on. If one thing doesn't work, he will quickly change to something else. And the fact that you can space this team out when you have, multiple different lineup combinations you can go to, whether it's Shamet or Hard, you have Deuce you could go on the court with, you could go 5 out with Cat at the 5. And then when you have to go double big, if you want to go double big, Mitchell Robinson, Cat, there's just a lot of versatility and a lot of issues that could come up for this Spurs team that the Thunder just didn't face because they didn't have as great of an offense as this Knicks does, even though the Thunder has the better player. But ultimately, I think the Spurs have shown a few things, right? Number one, Wemby has arrived, right? You say it's the next 10 years of Wemby. This is the worst version of Wemby we're going to get, but it's still best in the world caliber of player. He's only going to get better from here. So I feel like Wemby's ready for the moment. He just won 7 games with the champs. He went into OKC. He took him down in game 7. Wemby's ready for this.
Can I also throw something at you? You say 51-49. That's where you've gotten your odds to sway in the Knicks' favor. Now, does it sway back in the Spurs pendulum when you consider the fact that Wemby is heavily motivated by his previous failures? Losing the NBA Cup to the New York Knicks, does that swing a couple of percentage points back to the Spurs' way? Just an honest question.
That's already taken into account in the percentage.
Is it?
Yes. It's already in it. It's baked in. Now, Dehls, you have not. Listen, I know Riv was rude, right? He was rude to you, Drew. I know you guys got into screaming matches. But Dehls, you're not innocent. And I really haven't seen you bend the knee to Victor Wembanyama this episode. You haven't said this is the best player in the world.
Yes, I have.
He said caliber. I heard caliber.
You said caliber.
Yo, you motherfucker. Way to pick up on that. Because
my
Are
apologies.
you? I want you live on the show.
I said it earlier this podcast.
To bend the knee to Wembanyama and say he is the best.
Well, if you listen to me in the beginning of this podcast, I said he is the best. I said he's overtaken Chet.
Okay.
Yes, I do think Wemby's the best.
You know Mr. Overreactionary over here. He just needs to see it. Just needs to see it.
You heard it too, John? You heard it too?
I heard it.
Okay, all right. I believe you. 2 white men saying the truth. That's true. All right. I believe it.
No, I mean, Wemby entering the playoffs was a top 5 at worst, probably closer to top 3. And it was just a matter of if you go in and you do it, you go out there and you beat OKC, the reigning champs. That's really all it takes. I didn't think Shai would play as poorly as he did games 1 through 6. I thought it would have been a closer matchup, even though I don't think John's completely wrong. Where there was multiple games where Shai I thought was outplayed Wemby, at least offensively. Defensively, he's just never going to stand a chance, unfortunately. But no, after game 7, you go into there. And the thing that was great about game 7 is that the Thunder threw punches, right? It wasn't like one of these games where we've seen all series long where the Thunder or the Spurs got up big and, the Thunder makes some of these comebacks, but it's kind of like an 8 to 10 point game. The Thunder had, chances in the first and second half where they'd go up 4 points, go up 6 points, and the Spurs would punch right back. So, listen, I was super impressed by Wemby. Mostly anything, just the offense. You know how great the defense is going to be. But the consistency you showed offensively, that's why I'm leaning with the Spurs. Because I do think while OG Anunoby has been great on paper, definitely. Demon,
in
one of the
practice,
best defenders.
on paper, he's been
Love him.
amazing.
And on practice, I think it's a small sample size we're grasping at right now with OG Anunoby versus the New York Knicks, and it's a 7-game sample size in the finals, which in the grand scheme of things, isn't a very large sample size overall. But I do think Wemby's going to be able to get his stuff off. I do think going up against Isaiah Hartenstein, the physicality that he brought every single game is going to have Wemby ready and prepared for this matchup against OG Anunoby. So I am leaning with the Spurs. I do think what they showed me against OKC, they're ready to do it. They have not only the superstar that's ready to go and cement himself in NBA history, and we'll see where this legacy takes him, but the role players have been great. We talked about Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. You just got to hope he's a bit healthier, and the shooting you have around them. This is a team that's ready to win a championship, and I think having the best player in the world and the best player on the court is just that, that 5% chance that sways it for me.
There's two big pressure points in this series I want to hone in on. One, for the Knicks' favor and their advantage, is that in the non-Wemby minutes, I think they're going to kill, because I, quite frankly, see those Luke Cornett minutes as a prime opportunity for Cat to really get going, especially as a playmaking hub. And with their motion, I believe the Spurs perimeter defenders will do quite a good job, but I just believe the gap rim protection, we saw that in the conference finals. But he had that incredible block in Isaiah Hartenstein, which will probably be framed somewhere one day. For the Spurs, I think the biggest advantage, when you put Julian Champagnie in the starting lineup, it makes it very difficult to guard, especially for a guy like Cat, because I don't see the matchup, whether it's Champagnie or Vassell. I think it's going to be Vassell most likely, to where it does create an advantage, I believe, for the Spurs offense in that capacity. There's one more element, which I really do believe is going to be important. This player is very similar to Isaiah Hartenstein. Stylistically, I believe Mitchell Robinson's going to play a huge role in this series. Now, he's got the broken pinky, the physicality, the rebounding, and really those second chance points. He's going to be really pressured a lot. In the Keldon minutes particularly, he's going to play a lot. I think you maybe stagger or kind of line up those minutes exactly to where I think Mitchell Robinson's really going to make a big difference. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about this, I don't see the Spurs running a whole lot of Haka Robinson, Haka Mitch, because of the fact you really want to do Haka Mitch with a offense-only player that can't defend, that plays a limited role. And for the Spurs, I don't really see that player. Or they can do a Carter Bryant, he's too valuable. I believe that it kind of defeats the purpose because you want him out there to defend. It's not going to be a Luke Cornett in my eyes. So I don't know how much Haka Mitch we're going to see, because they don't really have that offense-only player that you just kind of prototypically throw out there to kind of take 3 or 4 fouls, right? So I do believe Mitchell Robinson is going to be a major X factor for the Knicks, and I believe they can make a difference in the series.
Well, that's a game within the game. The Mitchell Robinson versus Isaiah Hartenstein thing. I know OKC didn't make the finals, but the Knicks made the decision to keep Mitch. One, Hart got a big bag in OKC, but you already had Mitch, so it was easier to let Hartenstein go. And there's nobody I want this more for than Mitchell Robinson. He's been with the Knicks since 2018, 2019. He's the longest tenured Knick. He's given his heart and soul to the team. He mysteriously got hurt after the conference finals. Maybe it happened during the game. I'm not too aware.
In practice, I believe.
In practice, it happened. Thank you again. Mitchell Robinson then fighting through that to play game 1. I mean, you can't question his heart. So I really want it for him. I think the Knicks in general, everybody's hungry, and this team is experienced, and OG Anunoby, it's not just as simple as saying, oh, man, he's a great defender, that's why he'll negate Wemby. There's a lot of great defenders that can't negate Wemby. The reason why OG Anunoby presents a unique matchup is because he's 6'7", 240 pounds. Wemby cannot bully him and overpower him like he could Chet Holmgren or the smaller defenders on OKC like Alex Caruso. OG Anunoby is a legit tank. Wemby is going to have a very hard time bodying him and getting those easy driving lanes to the rim. And then before you go, Drew, OG Anunoby, 7-foot plus wingspan, 9-foot standing reach. When Wemby puts the ball on the floor to try to drive, OG Anunoby has the arms long enough to pick at the ball and really disrupt Wemby dribbling and going to the basket. OG Anunoby presents a very unique matchup for all those reasons, for his instincts. He makes primary ball handlers second guess putting the ball in front of him. Wemby, he has very good handle for his size, but that is still a point in his game that someone like OG Anunoby can have an advantage in.
So I hear where you're coming from, especially understanding who OG Anunoby is. If I would have seen Victor struggle more in that Wolves series, I'd be more inclined to feel as strongly as you do on that, just because of the physicality that the Wolves naturally have on their team with any combination of Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, and Rudy Gobert.
I mean, it's
None
just
of those
Gobert.
guys. None of those guys have the same physical profile as OG.
Isaiah Hartenstein?
No, on the T-Wolves.
I know, but I was
Jaden is too thin. Jaden was getting bullied by Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic was doing anything with him.
Julius Randle's frail.
Julius Randle isn't trying on defense.
He doesn't have
He's very
anywhere.
inconsistent.
You're comparing an all-league
Strength-wise.
defender to Julius Randle, who's
Absolutely.
one of the worst
Strength.
defenders. He was
And
one
then-
of the worst
and then
defenders
Rudy
for his
Gobert.
position.
Gobert
For a
is
perimeter
the
matchup.
only one that I'll say, yeah, but he's more of a rim protector. On the perimeter, he doesn't have those instincts like, oh, is going to pick up the ball and he's
Fair.
going to, guard you because he's used to guarding those perimeter players. Gobert's not. So I think that Hartenstein was a fair matchup, but OG has a unique blend of quickness, size, strength, and instincts that those other guys don't have.
What is limiting Wemby just looks like inefficient turnovers. That's the two things you're looking for.
It's just making it tough. It's just
Inefficient
making it
shooting
tough.
from outside.
That's it.
And not being able to really get his drives consistently, not being able to move. OG is a brick shit house, not being able to move him. I do want to apologize on LeBron. I'm going to highlight it. They don't know when Mitch got hurt, whether
I
it
was
was in
going to say,
practice
I
or
thought
game.
they kept it very vague.
They
like,
said it
he
wasn't
could've
in
done
practice,
some weird
wasn't in
shit.
game.
Some people, I know
So-
there's been screenshots around Twitter about maybe he got it hurt during the game. I'm not sure entirely. I mean, listen, I just want to make this clear. The Spurs are not going to lose because of Wemby. It's just OG gives them a challenge, gives the Knicks a defender that you feel comfortable putting him on in the perimeter. And then you have Cat. I mean, Cat has changed himself into an amazing defender these playoffs. I feel like he's not getting enough credit defensively. But I think Cat, just his strength, his body is also something else. Like, you're not going to shut down Wemby. The advantage the Knicks have more so, I think, is limiting the impact of how elite their defense is with Wemby on, because you can take Wemby outside of the paint and you have been the best shooting team in the playoffs. The Knicks have to shoot the piss out of the basketball.
Which they've done all playoffs long.
They have done all playoffs long to win this
Sounds like a
series.
due for regression.
Josh Hart needs to hit his shots. He shot 41% from three in the regular season, shooting 30% from three in the postseason. He needs to get his shot going. In game 2, he had a statement game against the Cavaliers. They left him open and had that game plan that the Spurs are definitely going to play on him when we match up with them. And Josh Hart made them pay. So he needs to have moments like that so he's viable to be on the court, because he brings other valuable things like playing good defense, getting extra possessions, rebounding the ball. He needs to play well, but I think the Knicks have enough depth. And Jalen Brunson, like I've said before, I just think he defies all odds. Over 35% of his playoff games with the Knicks, he's had 30 points. That is a higher percentage of games having 30 points in the playoffs than all-time greats, than multiple-time MVPs. He has had the second fastest 2,000 points in the playoffs. Number one is Steph Curry. Jalen Brunson is averaging 30 points per game over the last 3 seasons in the playoffs with the Knicks. There's been nothing to show you that Jalen Brunson, no matter the matchup, won't play well in the postseason. So at this point, that's who it's on. And I think if you will get, in my opinion, a better version of Jalen Brunson against the Spurs than we saw Shai play against the Spurs. And the fact that Jalen Brunson in the playoffs, he doesn't have the regular season of Shai, who's a multiple-time MVP, but the fact that Brunson in the playoffs, you can realistically say he can rise to the level of an MVP shot maker in the postseason, to where he is the most unguardable player on the floor, is the advantage the Knicks have. This will give a lot of teams with smaller guards hope. And you can build a great team around a smaller guard.
Bad hope.
But you also got to have the player like Brunson, which is very hard to find. You have to have that rare of a player, because he is a special player. And for him to be the third guy as a smaller dude to potentially win, we know that others have got there, like Allen Iverson, but the ones that have won has been Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas, speaks to how he rises in a postseason. And that's the advantage the Knicks have. I don't think Stephon Castle will make him play bad. I think Jalen Brunson is going to have an incredible series.
What are the other matchups? I'm just thinking. So you're going to OG on Wemby. What are the other matchups looking
When
like?
Shamit's in the game, I expect a lot of Wemby on Mikal. I don't know if they're going to put Wemby on Cat a whole lot.
Well, you said Wemby on Mikal?
Wemby on Mikal.
Okay. I think it's Mikal on Fox or Harper. Starting lineup is definitely Fox. With Stephon Castle, probably Josh Hart. You can maybe mix up those matchups. With Karl Anthony Towns, I think you it has to be Devin Vassell. Which I don't feel the best about that.
Or Julian Champagny, who
One of the shooters.
Brunson's
it's
guarding
tough.
Champagny. The whole guard's a great question.
It's
I
tough.
feel like when Harper's in the game, because like these two teams, I feel like we're going to see a lot of Shamit playing down the stretch, closing some games, and Harper closing. So that's why I mentioned them. I feel like Josh Hart on Harper. I like from a physical element where Hart's not going to get moved around. But when Shamet's on the floor, you no longer have those three guys that physically on the perimeter really are imposing. And Shamet can defend well, but he doesn't have that same profile against Dylan Harper.
Probably put him on
Harper,
Fox.
Yeah, on Fox. I don't know if Fox is going to close. In San Antonio, you can really, in this series, to me, close with Fox or Harper. I don't see the two of them closing a whole lot because they're going to be on the floor, I believe, with Champagnie, Vassell, Wemby, and Castle. I think that's going to be the way that their closing lineup looks.
You know, that's why the OG versus Wemby matchup, we'll get it in spurts, but if the Spurs counter with a 5-out lineup, which, you know, they've had shooting around Wemby all series long, then it's really hard to hide Wemby. I mean, it's really hard to hide Cat on a shooter unless you really trust him out there to guard. Cat might be the matchup on Wemby, and he has to be ready for that. Like, that's why I think Jalen Brunson, I think, will have an incredible series, but Karl Anthony Towns, everything he's piecing together, I think he's going to be like a 1B to Jalen Brunson. I think Karl Anthony Towns is going to have an amazing series.
He's got the heart to do it. I'll give him that.
And listen, he also
Some guys don't got that, man.
He also has fate going for him because historically, the Minnesota curse is real. Kevin Garnett leaves the Wolves, wins the championship. Andrew Wiggins leaves the Wolves, wins the championship. Karl Anthony Towns leaving the Wolves.
Kevin Love
leaving the Wolves, winning a championship. There is destiny and fate on Karl Anthony Towns' side.
Was Sam Cassell on that Celtics team when y'all won a championship?
Sam Cassell, yeah, when we won, I'm pretty sure.
Add him onto the list.
Yeah. That mean Ant's got to leave?
He wasn't on that 08 team?
I don't know if he was on the winning. He was on one of the teams that went to the finals. So I don't know if he was on the winning one.
2008.
I thought he was.
2008.
Anyway.
He was.
Yeah,
17 games.
Don't shake your head at me.
I didn't remember him playing 17
Yeah, you were
games.
2 years old.
I was 5.
It's gotta be John's birthday, man.
Yes, sir. Saturday.
What do you want for your birthday, bro?
What do I want for my birthday? Fantastic. You know what? I really want to see the Knicks win a championship. That would be something. I've never seen the Knicks be good in my entire lifetime. I would love to see them win a championship.
Are you going to become a Knicks fan?
No, I'll be a Nugget fan. But I would love to see it. I grew up in this area. Okay. Life would be easy if I just chose to go as my favorite player.
I mean, yeah.
Every step of the way.
You did.
Every step of the way.
You literally went and chose to be a Nuggets fan because your favorite player is Nikola Jokic, who was 3-time MVP in 4 years. So don't talk to me about front running, pal.
I'm a Steeler fan. I've seen
That's
some
your
good.
saving grace.
I've seen some
But
good.
also, when you were a Steeler fan, you picked the Steelers.
Yeah, they just won a championship.
Super Bowl, yeah.
There's been these subtle shots John's been throwing.
Yeah, no, literally.
He said, this was going to happen.
No, sounds good.
This was going to
Yeah,
happen.
no, and you cannot forget that your favorite player, 3 MVPs in 4 years, you, of all people, are not about to tell me you thought Wemby would be better than your guy. Don't do that.
What do you have to say, John?
You're right. I didn't see it happening this season, Drew.
Was something rumbling in your throat?
No.
I heard a noise. I don't know if that was
before
the
Jokic
pump.
had his wrist injury, he was playing the best basketball of his career. I didn't see Jokic's wrist injury torpedoing a 4th MVP season in 5 years. That I did not see.
Well, would that have stopped it? With all due respect,
he would have won. I believe he was the in my book, he was the MVP before his wrist injury.
Well, MVP aside,
I'm
just
just saying,
saying,
noticeably be less
would they have
efficient,
gone
higher turnover
to the
rate.
finals? Like,
no.
If Wemby has this
No,
run
because
in the
they
playoffs,
just shit their pants anytime they play Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
even if Jokic didn't get hurt, gets the MVP, I still think this run Wemby goes on
No.
the finals puts him number 1.
I do believe we would have beat San Antonio. We match up better against them than Oklahoma City or Denver, though.
So,
Minnesota.
Mr. John Tortorelli, you added $250 to the Pick a Side Poly Market pot. I'm matching that $250. This is Knicks to win the NBA championship.
Here we go, $500.
$500
Okay.
to win $1,320.
Here we go, Korean barbecue on you if they win, man.
Oh my God,
That's
that's
gonna
feed.
take half the check though.
Yes. Okay. I'm swiping to buy it right now. I can
New
pay.
York Knicks. So I mean, I know you're a logical man, but you're also a fan. So are you riding this 500 through all of the games, or if the Knicks go up 1-0, or if they go up 2-1, is there a potential cash out option? Do you think?
No, I'm riding it all the way.
Okay.
It defeats the purpose of cashing out when you're this deep
Invested.
into it.
No, I get it.
Because if you cash out, if I cash out, I'm essentially saying I think the Spurs are going to beat the Knicks.
True.
That's what I'm doing, and I can't get down with that.
But I don't know. You've done this before.
No, not cashing
Not
out
with,
a bet.
not with the Knicks.
No.
No, not with the Knicks.
I didn't even bet on the Knicks any game of
But no, I'm saying
the
like
conference finals.
you think one team's
outside of
gonna
the first
win, but you still bet on the other. Like when
Oh,
you
yeah.
thought the Thunder would go up 3-1,
I
you
have
thought the
done
Spurs
it,
would win. Like
but I
that
haven't
type
done
of
it with
shit.
the Knicks.
I'm crying.
I haven't done it with the Knicks though.
No, I know.
No.
I know. That's
when
what I thought was
when
different.
the Knicks were down by 20 in the fourth quarter of game 1 in the conference finals, I mean, I let it ride and I won because of that.
Thank God.
And no, just with the Spurs and Thunder, I could do that. But within the game, live game, I can't do that with a team I like.
Yeah.
It just feels
Too much going on. Too much.
It just feels like I'm
emotion.
betting against them at that point. I can't bet against them. I can't. So
You watching the
It's
game here, or
respect.
are you going to the city?
I'm gonna try to do a little bit of both. I got invited to some places to watch it in the city, but I definitely want to have a watch party. As you guys know, I'm redoing my living room.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be done by game 1.
Really?
I think best case scenario is gonna be done by game 2,
Well, game
which
2
is a
Friday,
Friday.
so that's
Game 2 is
better.
Friday.
Yeah, or game 3 Sunday. It'll definitely be done by game 2, which is Friday. So I'm thinking of having a watch party at the house, and of course, all you guys are invited, including Riv, if he's made it this far into the episode, which I probably doubt it. But I'll tell him in person or through text anyway. So yeah, and then I definitely want to go experience like the city and stuff. But there's a lot of people that are rowdy there too.
Yeah.
That's not really my vibe all the
Nah.
time. I'm
Yeah,
being
it's gonna
real.
be nuts in MSG.
Everybody's
Just
looking for a
ridiculous.
clip. Everybody's looking to go viral. Everybody's and shout out to them. They're having this amazing moment. But we know in the area, like New Yorkers can be toxic. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to put myself in that position, bro. I'm trying to just chill.
It's a big series, man. These next week plus 10 days, 2 weeks. It's gonna be stressful. It's a good stressful though. I wish I could be stressful.
Yeah, I don't think the tri-state area is ready for Knicks championship parade and then World
The
Cup
World
in New
Cup,
Jersey
bro.
the
That's
the ensuing
nuts.
week.
Dude,
I don't
the
know
worst
what's
thing-
going to be worse.
The worst thing is going to the city, watching a game, and then having to come back home if it's that crazy in the city. But it's only a subsection in the city that gets that crazy though.
Yeah.
It's only like by MSG.
Yeah.
Everywhere else it doesn't. I mean, it
If
feels
you're
pretty normal.
like at like the fucking Midtown, you'll be.
But then
alright.
again, it's the finals. I don't know. I was there for the second round of the playoffs, game 1 against the Sixers, and it was crazy. But outside of the first couple blocks of MSG, it wasn't crazy no more.
Mhm.
But the finals might be different.
Mhm.
Like it might be different if they like.
it's gonna be fucking
yes.
all 5 boroughs are just nuts
Yeah, it
every
might
street.
be. It might just be everywhere.
I actually
Knicks in
can't
the
believe
finals.
that the World Cup and the Knicks are about to be going on at the same time.
So we thought it was a good idea to have a World Cup in MetLife.
It was when they first announced it. I don't think nobody thought the Knicks would be here, to be honest with you.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the World Cup in MetLife. I still can't believe we do
I'm
not have the
excited.
infrastructure for
You'd be
Transportation.
surprised. Oh, transportation. I'm
it's
not gonna
going to be
disagree.
a shit show.
I mean, you can get the train into
Yeah.
MetLife. You can.
When it comes to
it's-
transportation, I mean, there's not a lot of places that are as
It's kind of a shit
Hubbed
show.
up
You
as
have to
New
go to
Jersey, New
Secaucus. You
York.
pass MetLife,
You-
and then
yeah,
you go to
that
Secaucus,
fair.
and then you go back. And the highway? Forget about it.
I
That's
drive
even
past.
worse.
I drive past MetLife every time I go to work. So I mean, I know how to maneuver around it. Also, my sister works at American Dream, and I think that it's a lot more feasible than it was in the past. The Dream's parking situation is significant. I think that they were prepared for this when they first built it, understanding what was going to go on. The parking space in MetLife, there's a ton.
Hardly walkable though.
They need
That
it.
is
can't walk at
that is
all.
fair.
No,
I mean,
Still-
dude, you know that
jaywalking
the
and-
American Dream Mall is failing financially. It is failing. That's fact.
Well, I hope it goes back up because that place is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They need an event like
yeah.
this.
It's also just the amount of money they put into that place.
It's hard to make that
ridiculous.
money
Yeah.
back. Yeah, especially malls nowadays. It's not as
popular.
E-commerce, man.
popular
Yeah,
as it was
uh-huh.
back then. I mean, you could get everything now online. I don't know about you guys, bro. Most of the time I go to the mall, I don't find things that I like as opposed to online. I feel like I find things that I like better online.
I like the vibe of the mall.
I
like that too.
and try stuff on in person.
Yeah.
But like to go back into this original point, like if you're at American Dream, it's so inconvenient to walk to MetLife.
Not really though. It's a straight the tunnel straight through.
It's
Yeah,
long.
once you're past the
Alright,
tunnel, I'm
it's-
saying
you're gonna
tunnel
walk
is
anywhere.
straightforward.
depending on where you park at
If you-
American Dream, it could be a long ass.
If you're like on the side of American Dream, you have to like walk kind of all the way around just to get to the tunnel. I feel like it's very difficult.
When's the first MetLife game?
I think it's June 10th or the 13th.
who's playing, you
So
know?
shout out to work. There's a chance I could win tickets to go,
Nice.
bro, because Hackensack Meridian and MetLife have a partnership, and they're giving out 5 tickets to each game.
Oh, tough.
5 pairs of tickets to each game. So 5 people can win each game.
Yeah,
Who you
yeah.
taking? You taking Al or you taking a soccer fan?
I think I'd have to take either Al or my dad. It's one of the two. I don't know a real right soccer fan like that, so I could be like, yo, Josh barely counts. Especially, I don't even know. He probably would go. If I was like, yo, bro, World Cup, he'd probably figure it out.
That's just not the culture here, man. It's crazy how soccer is popular everywhere else. It's number one, really outside of here.
Yeah.
I probably would take my dad. Al wouldn't be too upset about it, I'd hope.
Like that's like, bro, it's I'm like the equivalent if I'm saying to you, I got 2 Super Bowl tickets,
Yeah.
and somebody's
In,
like,
fucking Norway or some
yeah,
shit.
you know, I don't really feel it. I
Yeah.
don't really feel like I want to go.
I'm going to be honest with you. I hope I win.
Of course.
You can't sell them.
I was gonna ask that.
You can't sell
Get
them.
How
a
much
quick
are they
bag
going
for
for?
that.
Are they going for like $1,000?
It's ridiculous.
You saw? Have you looked at Knicks tickets?
Oh yeah, it's $4,000 minimum.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm doing that, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I would only go to a Knicks game again. 2 things happen. Number 1, I sit in the 100 section, which
Now we're talking about 50K.
which coincides with point number 2. I get thinner because
Okay.
them seats at the 200 levels cramp the fuck out of me,
Really?
bro. No, I have no space, bro. And I know people around me are like, damn, this fat motherfucker has it next to me. they're probably sick. I'm next to them. They're like, damn, I got no room. Those seats are thin, bro, up top, and they don't have cup holders there,
Oh, that's why.
bro. You'll be damned if I'm paying $4,000 for some tickets and I can't put my fucking water on a cup holder, bro. You have to put it in front of you, and this is the amount of space that you have, literally. So
yeah.
like if you have an open water, because
That shit's getting
you
knocked.
can't have the caps.
Nope,
you
nope,
can't have the
nope.
caps. If you have an open water in front of you and you move or somebody got to get up, oh, bro, you're knocking that shit over. It's easy and it's very uncomfortable. So for me, I'd rather be at the 100 section because I had it before. Like I went to 100 section game before. I've been there 2 times. One where I was seeing it from the baseline. Another one where I was more like in the middle. Those seats, nice, leather, space, sitting back, cup holder. Man, damn, this shit gear for a fat motherfucker. Like shit, I can fuck with this. Like, bro, perfect. Them 200s, bro. You see the poverty gap in real time. That shit is a different experience.
Yeah. No, I saw those tickets. That's some nut shit. This tickets to San Antonio are expensive too. They're like a couple thousand to get in.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe worst case scenario, I fly to San Antonio and go see it, but I can't justify that financial decision, bro.
Nah.
It's the finals, I get it, but like I'd rather watch it with people
living
with
room.
the fans. Like I'd rather watch it with people instead of just being uncomfortable at a game and stuff. It's 3 hours of your time for like $3,000, bro. I'm good on that.
Nah,
like
I'm
that's
with you.
insane, and it's experience that it sits with you. But then after it's over,
It's over.
It's
And
over.
What if they fucking lose?
again, you done and you out $3,000.
Yeah.
I went to game 1 and the Knicks blew the Sixers out. But as I'm like, I was at a playoff game that in the 4th quarter I was thinking of going home.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's how much the Knicks were whooping their ass. So I'm just like, I didn't even.
In the finals though, you'd be hyped for
Yeah,
it.
like imagine if I went to game 1 of the Cavaliers series where they came
Oh
back
my
down
God.
20.
That'd be,
That
yeah,
like
yeah.
you want to when
That's
you
a
pay.
once in a
One of
lifetime.
my
Yes.
boys was there and he bet on the Knicks in real time.
God damn.
And I couldn't believe it.
It's
It's
probably on a Poly Market ad. It's probably
Basically
like
paid for his
2%
ticket.
chance.
Yeah, no,
He was
I
probably the guy.
blown away. I was like, no shot.
I've been seeing Poly Market ads and they'd be like, "Man, I'm at the Knicks game right now. I'm finna put $50 on the Knicks in real time," and they just watch the game, dude. No, but yeah, dude. If I'm paying $3,000, I want to be guaranteed at a once in a lifetime experience, and that's just not gonna happen with sports. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might be in for a banger. Like when I went to Nets Bucks game 7, heartbreaking,
Heartbreaking.
but a banger.
For sure.
I'm just like,
How much was that ticket? Do you remember?
bro, I got it for my dad for Father's Day, and I also invited my brother. Me, my brother, my dad, 1,200. Game 7, second round.
Yeah, I mean that's.
High
It's an
ass
amazing
seats.
game.
High ass seats, but
But still,
Yeah.
bro,
1,200 for a game 7 second round playoff game. Kevin Durant.
you're
I'm
getting a
watching
quarter
James
of a
Harden.
ticket for that for the Knicks.
Exactly. Not yeah. Can't even afford one full one, bro.
Yeah.
No,
That's not. I feel like 400.
400
tough,
for
all the way up.
reasonable
Yeah.
for a game
A
7.
game 7 of that magnitude.
Yeah.
That series was so crazy. They literally, y'all were talking about the other day. They didn't have Harden. They won by 40 in game 2. Like that's insane to me.
Insane.
Katie and Kyrie on their own.
You saw they were trying to give the Nets the championship, man. It was nuts.
They would have easily run the table that year. Not to
Maybe.
relitigate what y'all are talking about, but
Maybe.
that's so. They almost. It felt like they were on a completely different stratosphere
can't give
without
away
without Harden
championships
being
anymore,
healthy.
man.
You plug him in.
Can't give away championships. We got too much respect for the game up here to do that.
I respect that.
You know what I mean?
I respect dominance though, and the Bucks look helpless. I was like, this is something else. And Kyrie in Game 3 rolls his ankle, serious lift.
Fucking disaster, man. You guys excited for Love Island?
Cannot wait.
I'm so excited.
The cast, though,
Kind of whack.
they're not attractive
No,
off first glance.
they're not.
When I watch, probably feel a lot different.
Yeah. Get some bombshells in there.
Last year's cast was
elite. The last 2 years have been,
generational.
the last 2 years have been fucking elites.
Oh my!
To be fair, those are only
goodness.
2 years I've watched though. I
No,
haven't watched the
I've
older
heard
seasons.
that not this past season that just happened.
The one before.
The one before
Taylor
is
and,
apparently all
yes,
time.
Yes.
Love
That's the first one I
bombs
watched.
Can change that perception though. Sometimes the love bombs they bring on be fire.
The
The random people they bring on.
Yeah, they call them bombshells.
Oh yeah, facts. My bad.
Bombshells.
Bombshells, love bombs, same shit.
Andrina?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Wasn't
stupid
Sierra
pressure.
that too? Sierra was that
No.
too.
No, she was an OG.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she
Also
came
pressure.
early on.
No, she was with the original cast.
Iris was definitely a bombshell.
Iris
She
was,
was.
yeah.
Not because that shit. No.
I'm pretty sure
yes.
Iris was.
I don't remember anymore. Because who did Pepe dip on for Hannah? Oh no, bro. I'm thinking of I capped. Hannah was a bombshell because
that's not-
Jeremiah dipped on Huda for Hannah.
No, Iris, no. Didn't the country put Iris
yes,
and,
it was Jeremiah and Iris.
together?
Then it
Because he
was-
was with Huda, and the first time they had a or man, not the first time, but
Was
they
it
had a
Iris?
recoupling,
Might
and he
have
went
been.
with Iris.
I
And they were
thought
like,
it was-
"What the fuck?"
I'm getting my blondes mixed
And then
up.
it was Jeremiah with Andrina.
Yes,
That I remember.
Yeah. She is. That's a woman.
I get it.
That's a woman.
I'll leave it at that.
It's a woman.
Jeremiah, how can I fault you?
Yeah. No, the last 2 seasons have been so great. I just don't know. I feel like there's a certain magic you have to have that I just don't know how many times you can recreate it. But they're going for 3 for 3. They're going for a little 3-peat.
They
So
say
hopefully-
Love Island UK is goated as well.
Yeah, I know you. I haven't tuned into it.
Charles is dialed.
I'm excited. Tomorrow's first episode.
Did
I'm
you
here.
guys see that the PlayStation's releasing a monitor?
I did see that. It
Yeah.
broke me.
Why did it break you?
I just got a new one.
You just gotta get the new. You just gotta get
Well,
the
I don't
new
know
one,
if there's
bro.
anything
Gotta
special
replace
about
it.
the monitor.
It's just PlayStation,
It's
bro.
just
Why
PlayStation
wouldn't you want
branded.
it?
But it's only 120 hertz, isn't it? Something like that.
Only 120? Is
I
that
thought it
good or
was-
bad? I don't
So
know.
120
I don't know.
is 4K.
Yeah.
But I think you want the like. I was just at Best Buy and they were saying I believe it's 240. That's what you're hoping for because that's the only thing that your eyes like. That's the most your eyes can see. It's 8K. I'm like 90% sure, and those are the best monitors. But I'm not gonna complain if it's 120
Let's see.
I'm
I
looking
saw
at
that.
it too.
because you can
So
also
it's
charge it.
It's 240 hertz with VRR support.
Oh,
QHD visual 1440p.
What the fuck's this?
HDR dual sense charging hook.
that is what I'm
You
very.
can charge
That's,
your
When's
phone.
it coming
that's
out?
What it is.
It's coming out. It doesn't actually say. It's a 27-inch gaming monitor. Let me look. I think they have pre-orders now available. But I just want it because I'm just a sucker for like having Unity. So
Am I gonna have to give you back your controller?
nah, I already bought a new one.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
You're hilarious. I've been thinking about buying a new one. I'm just like, I just got this one from Joel. Why do I need a new one?
Yeah, no, they still have it. It's like the cool blue. It took me a while to find it. And
You
I-
got it again?
Yeah, it was an amazing color.
Bro, I would have just given it back.
Nah, you got your hands on it.
Sarah
I want a new now.
can't get that stench off.
That's crazy. I literally play. I put it in the same spot every night.
So it says June 5th, it will be available for pre-order.
Okay.
That the monitor, it's gonna be $350.
Am I going to have to return the new monitor I just got? It doesn't come with speakers. I told
Does
you
this
I
one
wasted
come
my
with
money.
speakers?
It says it does.
Oh.
I'm
then
done.
you
It's
can
over.
take it.
It's over.
Do you
I'm
have a
literally
war-
going
like
to
a
return it.
little 30
I get
warranty
2
or
months to
something?
return it.
Okay.
I don't have the box though. That's going to be the
Oh.
only.
You
I
need
don't
a
know how to
box?
do that. I don't know.
Where'd
I
you
threw
get
it
it
away.
from?
Best Buy.
I feel like they probably bring it back.
I might just call them and be like, yo, pick this shit up.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
pay.
yeah.
I'm a Best Buy member.
Or maybe is that the only monitor you have?
If you don't count my desktop Mac, then yes.
Oh, okay, because you could always just use that monitor for something else, and then just get that new monitor.
Joel's a guy that lives in abundance. I respect the fuck out of it.
I've been thinking about getting a PC.
I mean, why not? You could then just use that monitor you have currently for the PC.
But the PC's bread.
It is.
PC's at minimum 15.
But hey, you know, couple months.
You're not wrong.
3,
Listen,
4
do I
months,
have the
you
money
could
to
do
buy
it.
it right now? Obviously, yes, I do.
Unless you could do it, honestly, bro. You could do it in like 2 months. Bro.
You're not wrong. Could I do it easily? But
What if you get the PC? Is the PS5 like opposite? Like is it just dead?
no.
So
He
what
still
are you
plays
gonna
MLB The Show.
No.
Oh, I guess just exclusive to the
The
PS5.
PC is strictly for the computer side of things, like watching shit, all that,
Oh,
like
okay.
that side of things, and then like
I
the
thought you wanted
streaming.
for gaming.
So the gaming monitor, so that would be one monitor would be
Gaming
for
PC.
gaming. No,
Oh
no. The
Dude,
P-
why don't you take
But low key though, if
You
you
could
build
get-
if you build an elite PC,
you can
could
do
do
you
both.
both.
you can do both on
That's
that
what I'm
PC.
saying.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
But the PlayStation, how would I do that? I'd have to have the PlayStation to the monitor. I need you guys. We're here. PC gaming. That is its own thing. Yes, I can do that if I build the right PC. That could be one monitor for the PC that includes not just the internet, but gaming as well. Then the other monitor would be for the PlayStation.
Facts.
Okay,
I think
we're
that's
here.
the perfect scenario.
And I'm thinking about doing that. The issue is I have a brand new Mac desktop. Maybe I could give that to Alexandra
Wait, so what do you want to build the PC for? I thought this was for gaming.
because I have the lock in.
He doesn't want to have the Mac and the PC together because
Yes.
it's
Yeah,
obsolete.
so what's the point of getting the PC?
Exactly what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Oh, yeah, so don't get it.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So we got to the right conclusion.
Yes, Joel was kind of just like, yo,
Just get it.
get it.
Yeah, no, that seems a little
No,
silly.
for me, I have a a Mac Mini, which is a little ass computer that's like $600. Can't handle crazy shit, but it's just good for work and shit. I like having everything separate. I want to have a separate place for my Xbox. I want to have a separate place for my PlayStation. Actually, no, that could be in the same place. I want to have my PC in a separate place. So low key, I would need like 3 different monitors. So that I would find use for the monitors. The PlayStation monitor will be for my PlayStation only. So I'll have its own place. Yo, where I play PlayStation, I got the PlayStation monitor here.
He has me fucking thinking unnecessarily, and I want you to know I am thinking about it. I give the Mac desktop to Alexandra. I bring the new monitor over, but then I'd have to get a camera. It's the most. I think I'm not
Don't
gonna
you have a
it.
camera?
I have a camera, but for the PC, you have to get like one of those like add-on cameras. Unless I get like some wiring. I don't know.
I feel like you probably could just get some adapters.
Probably.
You're saying the camera to like stream or something?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know how like when I'm on Discord, I turn my camera on, it's my computer camera. Because
Oh,
Macs
I see.
come with
Yeah,
computer
yeah,
cameras. When we do any recordings, all my cameras, all my episodes that we recorded was from my computer camera.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you could get a nice camera hooked up to either or. I mean, it works on Mac, but it works on Windows. Even if you had a Windows PC, you could definitely hook up a camera to that easily.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be difficult. But you know, if it's unnecessary, it's unnecessary. But hey, man,
That could
That shit is
American
unnecessary,
That could be
bro.
American Express's
I
problem.
mean, bro, I like having variety.
Yeah, I mean, you just fucking made a Brandon Roy build for your 13th build, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Bro, it's because I had a 99 3-point shot build, and I was like, man, is this really that much different versus just not having a 90 overall 3? And it really didn't feel that way. So I made another build.
So he has to make another build.
I
to
made
test
another
it.
build with a 90 overall 3 with great mid range, and I improved the defensive stats, the physicals. He has a 92 speed at 88. No, a 92 speed, 90 agility. He has great strength because strengths in 2K is a big thing. There's this badge called Strong Handle, and it basically gives you the ability to handle bumps from stronger defenders. If your badge is higher than their unmovable enforcer or on-ball menace badge, which is like defensive and strength badges, then you are able to just bump them and move out the way. My mistake is that some of my early builds, I made the strength extremely weak. So when I try to dribble past certain people, they would just wall me off and they get a bunch of bump steals. So I made a new build that answers that. So right now I'm just learning how to use them. It's Brandon Roy. I could make him into James Harden if I wanted to. Like he's 6'5", you feel me? I could make him into anything I want. And yeah, he has a great defense, great dunk, elite shooting. Just not 99 3 shooting, but it's still elite shooting. Like a 90 overall 3, you can make like 68% of your threes, bro. In that game, nobody misses, dude. If you're open, you're not missing if you're a good player for the most part. Maybe you have like a bad game or so, but in that game, it rewires your way of thinking about basketball because you don't allow twos at all. You literally let people just like get twos to stay home on threes as much as possible because everybody makes their shots, bro. There really ain't weak shooters in 2K, especially when you start playing comp.
Yeah, fuck, that's not for me, man.
You fell
My
off.
days of 2K stopped maybe like 2K 14, 16.
You fell off.
Yeah,
I stopped the 19.
I
Bro.
used to be good. I'm probably fucking whack.
Honestly, it makes no sense that you don't play video games.
I know, man. I don't know what happened.
What happened to you?
I don't know.
You have time.
I'm trying to think the
have
last
time.
time I really locked in on a video game. Red Dead 2, that was like 2018 though.
You know what's funny is that
Modern Warfare, like during COVID, I was locked in on.
we've probably been 2 hours into this episode and we haven't talked about the biggest thing that happened
No,
today,
we haven't.
which is
Either of the two biggest things.
which is Myles Garrett to the Rams and AJ Brown to the Patriots.
To be fair, it's the off season, and the finals are here. I'm
Yeah.
not mad at us going into dialogue on the finals.
No, for sure.
The
And
finals start
I say
Wednesday.
that because we're gonna still do things with the NBA.
We
because
have to.
because
Oh, with the NBA.
I have 2 more things that I want to share.
Oh, wow.
There's just 2 more things. Actually, we have 3 more things to do,
Sweet.
but it's not that much. Okay. So, who are the top 10 players in the NBA Finals?
Okay, number 1, Victor
Vic.
Wembanyama,
Number 2, Jalen
Jalen
Brunson.
Brunson.
easily.
Number 3, Cat.
Okay.
Here we go.
It might be OG Anunoby.
Number 4, I think, is
No,
OG
no,
Anunoby.
no,
Or you're saying
no.
number 3, OG
Yeah,
over
no,
Cat?
Not yet.
Not yet. He's
Not
been
yet.
better this playoff run, in my opinion.
But when you also include playmaking on top of that too, Karl Anthony
Yeah.
Towns has been table
OG's been the
setting
better
for
scorer
everyone.
and the much better defender.
He's been table setting for OG. And the much better defender, fine. Of course, that's OG Anunoby's bread, but I'm never
And I
gonna
believe
argue
in
that.
this series, OG will play.
You can make the argument in this
such a
series
prominent
if
role.
he's guarding Wemby and he's able to, make it difficult for him, he could be number 3.
John, I appreciate your logic. Does that mean that 3 is OG and 4 is Cat for you?
I would have Stephon Castle right next to OG, so it'd be like 3, 4, 5 clumped together.
Stephon Castle
Over
over Cat.
They'd be clumped together. I'd probably say, depending on the day, it could be Cat at 4 or Stephon Castle at 4.
John, I need
Yeah.
you to make the list. What's the top 5?
All right, my list would
Wemby,
be
Brunson.
it would be Castle at 4, Cat at 5.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I thought Cat was the obvious 3.
I thought so too.
He's an all NBA player, all-star, has been to the conference finals 3 straight times as the second option. He's been the most efficient big man in the playoffs. Wemby has been more productive for sure, but Cat's been, you look at the numbers, all the advanced analytics, the shooting, the playmaking, the lack of turnovers, all that. He's been otherworldly. So I'd go Wemby, Brunson, Cat, OG, Stephon Castle. I think that is the lock top 5. You have a different order, that's fine. That is a lock top 5. Then from 6 to 10, who is it? Is 6 already Dylan Harper?
Yeah, probably is Dylan
Yes.
Harper.
What are you hesitant about?
Mikhail?
When
That's
he's-
really it. Straight
The
up.
way Mikhail's been playing, I think it's respect to put him at number 6.
Mikhail had a perfect ECF. He's been pretty
Yeah.
perfect in these playoffs. I say from round 2 on, I think he was great against Philly. I thought he was amazing against the Cavaliers. In this 10-game heater, he's kind of been that X factor that's kind of put him over the top 2. In that Hawks series, he started to turn it around. Where he really put it together was that Philly series, and he has not looked back since. Dylan Harper, I understand where he come from. I love Dylan Harper a lot. 100%. His ability to get downhill, his ability to play make, his ability to rise to the occasion in his first year in the league. I just think that the all-around play that you're getting and the contributions that you're getting from Mikhail, it's at minimum equal for
Harper's
me.
giving you all around contributions too. Even when he was hurt, he was guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander better than almost anybody. He's rebounding, and then also too, the efficiency as an initiator has been absurd. And I'm also kind of valuing this when he's been healthy, because for half of this last series he wasn't healthy, right? I can hear McKella being high up, like the next player up, but Dylan Harper to me, I just believe is going to play a more impactful role in the series.
But
So I'd have him at 6.
are you going about how you believe it will go, or what
Harper's
we
a better
currently
player in my
have?
eyes. I would have Harper at 6, and I believe he'll play a more important role.
Dylan Harper better than Derek White.
No, probably. I mean, close. You
Yeah,
know,
he-
Harper's
I mean,
Harper's in the.
He
I'm
could
just
be,
asking.
he could be
His
better than
ceiling
him.
is-
No, could be. Easily
limitless.
could be.
Yeah.
Easily
Yeah.
could be.
Dylan Harper's
He will be
ridiculous.
better in a year, but like right now, I guess I'd say Dylan.
He'll be better in
Derek
like 2
Derek
months.
White.
Get summer off season. He's
Literally,
already better.
yeah.
No, Dylan
I hate
Harper's nuts.
Drew. I really hate comparing like a elite role player to like this do it all ascending initiator that's going to be a star. In
No,
that
but I
year.
agree with you. But Dylan Harper right now is a role player currently.
Yeah, it's like James Harden, Oklahoma City. Like he is a star
He
in
is,
this
of course,
in
the
this
number 2
role.
overall pick.
But when he's assigning a 27 and 10 in a game that Wemby's out, like you can clearly see as an initiator, he's a star level initiator that's emerging. He's also like per 36, averaging like 19.6. It's akin to Ajay Mitchell in Oklahoma City. I see someone with limitless potential in Dylan Harper, and I would say right now he's better than Mikal. I'd have him at 6.
Okay.
Number 6 is Dylan Harper. Are you agreeing with that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was when I brought up Mikal, it was more so what he's done in the past, where he's done the last 2 series, the efficiency, the defense. Dylan Harper, I do agree with John, where I think just like player for player, the role he plays would put him over Mikal. But more than anything, just respect for what Mikal's been doing.
Also, again, he hasn't had an opportunity to guard a player as elite as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But Dylan Harper was not primary defender on him. Dylan Harper was also incredible, either which way you shake it. I'm not trying to sit here. 21B situation in this conversation. They've both been that great.
Number 7, is it Mikal or De'Aaron Fox?
I'm going. This postseason, Mikal's been better.
Yeah, it's probably Mikal. Fox, if anything, Fox is 8. And if we get Game 7 Fox, he could be over him.
Dylan Harper's been flat out better than Fox, you'd say?
Yes,
easily?
Yeah. Like Fox is outside of Game 7 was kind of a disaster.
Correct.
I know the injuries, like I get it, but it was a bit of a disaster.
It's tough to rank him because of what you just said. When he's healthy, he's a better player, but right now it's Mikal at number 7. And then Fox 8.
Devin Vassell 9.
Devin Vassell 9. And
Julian Champagnie, thoughts?
Champagnie would be number 10. Either Champagnie, Hart, or Mitch. One of those 3.
It's interchangeable. I think that 10 spot, Keldon also can't be slept on. It was 6th man of the year, but in the playoffs, I understand if you're valuing Josh Hart, Champagnie, Mitchell Robinson, it makes sense, especially for this specific matchup. I do think the top 9 are locked, though. My list was Wemby, Brunson, Cat, OG. I know that in our collective list, we had Castle at 5. 6, we had Harper. 7, we had Mikal. 8, Fox. 9, Vassell. And 10, you had Champagnie. I have Josh Hart at 10.
So is that 5 and 5 Knicks Spurs in the top 10?
Yeah, and then if you look at their depth pieces, the Spurs have Cornette and Keldon Johnson. Harper comes off the bench for him. He's in their top 10 players, of course. But the Knicks have Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench, Landry Shamet, Jordan Clarkson. They have really good bench players too. Mm-hmm. So I think overall, this matchup is even.
Yeah,
it feels even to me, and this is going to be an amazing NBA Finals. I was thinking about something because Wemby is ascending into being potentially the GOAT one day. He's on his path right now, his story. The LeBron comps are inevitable. And I thought Victor Wembanyama right now is what LeBron James would have been if the Cavaliers had great draft lottery luck after his first 2 seasons. Because
or if he got injured in his 2nd or 3rd year.
Exactly. The Spurs, after drafting Wemby, were able to draft Stephon Castle, 4th overall pick. Dylan Harper, 2nd overall pick. You look at the Cavaliers, 2003, they drafted LeBron. 2004, Sean Livingston was the 4th overall pick in that draft. But Luol Deng was on the board. He went top 10. Andre Iguodala also went top 10 in that draft. Then in 2005, Marvin Williams was the 2nd overall pick. But that was the Chris Paul, Darren Williams draft. And if you remember those Cavaliers teams, they drafted LeBron, but they also had Carlos Boozer, who was an ascending player. He went to Utah because he lied to Cleveland and said he would re-sign with them. Then
if they declined the player option.
Exactly. If you decline control of my contract, I promise I'll sign with you. They said, all right. And then he backdoored them and went to Utah. They had Carlos Boozer. I mean, just imagine if the Cavaliers had one of these players. Imagine if they had Chris Paul with LeBron, with Carlos Boozer, or you have Iguodala, LeBron, like Boozer. Those Cavaliers teams, the difference between the team success with Wemby and LeBron is the fact that LeBron's Cavaliers didn't pick this high in the draft to draft that type of transcendent, game-changing talent that the Spurs have had the luxury of drafting next to Wemby. And we see if you support this type of player this early on with the right teammates, that they can make these type of runs. I think of another example, not to that exact extreme, but is Luka Doncic. The Mavericks overperformed. They weren't able to draft high enough. So then he was stuck carrying middling rosters for years. Yeah. Where Wemby right now, we're looking at the Spurs and we're saying, wow, they're set for the next decade because the 2 years after drafting Wemby, they had top 5 picks.
They also hit on them though.
Exactly.
They could have screwed that up. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say you also can thank the Hawks. You can thank the Rockets.
Yeah.
For Stephon Castle, shout out. I mean for Dylan Harper, the balls just bounced their way. Balls just bounced their way. That was pretty great.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas is.
But also, even like Carter Bryant, pick 15, like that was a great snag by them.
Then having some of the infrastructure too.
I was gonna say,
having Vassell,
never quit on them.
Getting Champagny off of waivers and
Philadelphia
stuff.
wanting to keep McClung instead.
Yeah,
That's
tough
why
for Daryl
it's cool.
Morey. Tough.
Yeah, tough.
So
tough,
brutal.
He just continues to just look like the punching bag. Jared McCain goes and hoops for Oklahoma City, and then Julian Champagny is one of the more impactful role players this postseason. Two players definitely could have contributed to Philadelphia this year.
That does happen a lot, though. Like, Denver had Isaiah Hartenstein and Colin Gillespie, and they let them go for other players. I think it happens more
Shout out
often.
Zeke Naji, man.
Yeah, and they paid Zeke Naji 3 years before they should have. Who do you guys think has a better series, Cat or OG Anunoby?
A better
Be honest.
series in terms
I
of
think it's going to be
impacts?
Karl Anthony Towns. I think both of them will play tremendous. OG, his impact will be felt on defense. Karl Anthony Towns, I think he will have a great series from a scoring standpoint, and his defense will impress a lot of people. The narrative on him thus far has been that he doesn't play defense, that he's not a physical big. That's far from the truth. Cat is physical. He is vocal. He plays with a ton of heart. And Karl Anthony Towns has been an awesome defender this postseason. It's not the same old Knicks with their bad defensive scheme with Tom Thibodeau. Karl Anthony Towns, people forget that last year when they beat the Celtics, I mean, his defense on Jason Tatum in the perimeter was a huge swing in that series. This entire playoff run as a rim protector, being active in passing lanes, being able to switch out and guard the perimeter and showing effort and being agile. Karl Anthony Towns, this isn't just a one-way impact player. He's going to have an insane amount of two-way impact, and he will be the 1B to Jalen Brunson.
Who do you think he matches up against?
It could be Wemby. If it's not Wemby, if Keldon Johnson's in the game, you probably have him on
Keldon's
Keldon
easy. I
Johnson.
think that's a good matchup. If it's Wemby, I think that's a super tough assignment.
I think at times
Obviously.
you probably will see Cat maybe sagging off on Castle for some possessions to leave him open and test out that jumper. He's been hitting them though, so that's kind of risky. But I think probably not Fox because he's too quick off the dribble. But it depends on how you play, how you gap up.
That'd be food.
That help.
I say this. The Spurs, the way that they adjusted in that Oklahoma City series where Keldon wasn't what you were anticipating, immediately pivot to Champagny, and now it's to the point where what do we do? Because this guy's knocking down everything that is coming his way. We can't give him an inch of space. They were not afraid to put Keldon on the bench. They were not afraid to let him sit there. So they trust the depth of their team, and if Karl Anthony Towns has that responsibility of Champagny in the corner, that becomes a little bit more difficult if he's just sitting. There's not in the lineup of the Fox, because Fox can probably be on ball with Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson. They're not afraid to play that four with Wemby and see where it goes, understanding they need some spacing, need ability to get downhill, and the perimeter defense that they provide. And also, Champagny plays very physical. So it's going to be a tough defensive matchup for Cat in that regard, because I'm not sure where he's going to match up consistently.
Yep. I'm going to have to disagree in the sense that I think Cat's defending better in this postseason run, but I agree with you where there's not a natural power forward he can defend. Like if it's Harrison Barnes or Keldon Johnson, that's an easy matchup for Cat to slide in at, but I think he's going to struggle with their perimeter assignments. And a lot of their lineups, whether they're doing a 3-guard look or a 2-guard and 2 high-low floor spacers with Wemby, they're going to put Cat to the test. I expect him to play well offensively speaking, but I believe this series is going to exploit his deficiencies or his limitations on that on the floor, and that's the one thing that I am worried about for the Knicks. I feel like they can problem solve. If Josh Hart's shooting poor from 3, they can pull him out and Brandon Landry Sham, and they have a different look. But if Cat can't find a great matchup defensively, it's going to put a lot of pressure on a guy like OG without that backline defense, and then maybe they have to go with the double big lineup, and that creates different lineup machinations, which they may not have enough answers to. So that's my one worry for the Knicks.
Does anyone have off the top of their head the height of Stephon Castle?
6'6".
Because the fact that you have 6'6" Stephon Castle, 6'7" Dylan Harper.
He's 6'5". He's like 6'4", 6'5", yeah.
I feel like
He
every
plays
time,
bigger. He
I
plays
feel
a
like
lot
every
bigger.
time they
Yeah.
talk about him, they're saying he's 6'7", and the way that he was able to match
Yeah.
up against Chet Holmgren too. The fact that their 2 guards are
Big
wing size
Yep.
level,
Yep.
it allows them to play so much more athletic against these other teams. And it was shown on full display against Oklahoma City, which is why I become a bit apprehensive in this Knicks series as well.
I just feel like, Kat, if the Knicks, in your prediction, the Knicks are going to win this series and win the championship, he has to be more impactful.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to see a world. It's not taking anything away from OG, but it's difficult to see a world unless he's out there just really causing a lot of issues for Wemby, that he's the second most important player with all of the impact that Cat's had offensively, and to his credit, some defensively too. But just him being the hub, him alleviating Jalen Brunson, letting Jalen Brunson play an off ball, finding open shooters. The way he's been able just to orchestrate this offense, I feel like he has to be more impactful.
I hear you. From a PER element, like I do agree in the sense that like Cat's making me more productive on a per minute basis, but I believe with Castle and OG having to defend the opposing team's best player, you'll feel that impact even though it's not going to be fully in the box score.
Now, the last thing we'll get into is I have a would you rather Dylan Harper edition. He's having a fantastic playoff run, and we're recency bias here, right? So I have some names here.
Not me.
We're going to see if you guys take Dylan Harper over these players. Do you want to set any parameters on what this is? Do you want to do it in the moment, long term? Like, what is
what's the list? Is it like young players, or is it more like players ready to win now?
It's established players, and I'll give this caveat. I want you to answer these questions of players based on where they will be after next season.
Oh, that changes things a lot.
After next season, will Dylan Harper already be better than these players? First name up, Emmanuel Quickly.
Okay.
Dylan
What's
Harper.
next?
Dylan Harper.
By the end of next season, I view Harper as an all-star caliber guard, and that I'll definitely take Dylan Harper.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're starting light. It's a softball.
okay.
No disrespect to Emmanuel
IQ.
Quickly.
Next legend.
Dylan Harper might be better than him right now.
He
Dylan Harper's
probably
that
is.
good.
Probably
He is. Yeah.
Next name up, Andrew Nemhart.
Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper.
Go on, Dylan
Albeit
Harper.
quietly this year, Andrew Nemhart hooped. He got injured towards the end of the season, and they kind of were just like, all right.
But I'm excited to see Nemhard playing winning basketball again when Hallie's healthy.
Nemhart
sure.
played well this year, statistically.
Tyrese Maxey.
I'm going to take Tyrese Maxey.
I'm taking Maxey still.
By next season, Tyrese Maxey will still be an All-NBA caliber player. I'll go on Maxey. Long term, I believe Dylan Harper's going to be a better player one day.
His teammate, De'Aaron Fox.
Dylan Harper's
Dylan
better
Harper.
right now.
Yeah,
Rather Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
Trey Young.
Dylan Harper will be better than next season.
I'll take Dylan Harper. Ball up for Trey Young.
There's a lot of concerns for Trey.
Why'd you say that?
The efficiency just getting
Why?
worse
The
and worse.
rule
Why?
changes
Why?
that impact his
Can I
scoring.
He's
He's a 6-foot guard that you can't slide.
I don't
anywhere
want to talk
defensively.
on. I know.
Has had
Tyler
routine
Brown.
lower body injuries. The
I don't want
efficiency
to
fall
talk
off.
on Trey
He's a
Young,
great
though.
playmaker.
You
He's a
passing
great
is
playmaker.
incriminating.
I
It
know.
tells me
It's
what
very
your
incriminating.
answer is. Yes.
You're right.
I know what your answer
You're
is.
right.
Just don't want
Well,
to say it.
playmaking.
We'll move on.
I
then.
love Dylan Harper. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It is funny. I know we mentioned this before the show. The last time we talked about Dylan Harper on the King of the Hill, the TikTok GMs are not happy at us.
Okay, next player up, Tyler Hero, who also had
Dylan
an
Harper.
amazing playoff rookie run.
I'll take
He did.
Dylan Harper.
Yeah, Dylan Harper.
I don't care about Tyler Hero.
Okay. Next name up, Darius Garland.
Dylan
Who
Harper.
This one pulls out heartstrings from LFDG.
There was a report that the Spurs were about to trade the 4th overall pick.
They
for
almost,
Cavs
they
and
almost
Garland.
botched their future.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
If they didn't have Castle, things would look a
Garland
lot
played.
different.
Garland played well when he got to the Clippers. But I'll take Dylan Harper.
I
mean,
love
the-
Garland.
The size of Dylan Harper alone.
Yeah, like you highlighted, just the versatility, the potential he has as an all-ball creator, and then also the two-way impact too, because he can defend 1 through 4 basically. Harper's just a more all-around player, and also the DG. The biggest issue for me is not just the limited defense, but also the injury issues. I'll go Harper.
Next player up, Derek White.
Dylan Harper is gonna be better.
Derek White's probably a little better right now, but by end next season, I believe Harper will be better.
I think that's a fine statement.
John Morant.
Dylan Harper. I need to see John Morant play at that level
Yeah.
again before we could just throw him back in
lot
I'm
there.
not enjoying this.
A lot can change in 4 years. John Morant, once upon a time, All NBA. By 2027, I'm going to take Dylan Harper. His game's just way more complete.
Mhm.
Not just the two-way impact and the fact that he can really be a very good playmaker
He's got
on
a
Ja's
jump shot.
level. Yeah, he's developing that shot, and he's been dealing with that thumb issue since the first round before the season started. It's just too, Harper has that finishing where it's not relying on athleticism either. I just believe he is like the best finishing guard I've seen since Kyrie. I think he has that same attribute as John, doesn't rely on the athleticism as much.
I'm going to take Dylan.
The last player is Jamal Murray.
Oh,
I'll take Jamal right now, but it could change. It could change very soon. But very soon, it's still not. It's underappreciating what Jamal just did this year.
by the end of next season, Jamal will still be a slightly better player. Long term, it'll be Dylan.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, Dylan Harper is showing superstar potential, so I understand these names sound crazy at face value, but then you think about it, and maybe the comments will hate us for it.
Fuck
Somewhere they will, but for
I
sure,
don't give a
you
shit.
look at Dylan
Harper would have been the first overall pick if Cooper Flag didn't reclassify. People are like, "Oh, you're taking Dylan Harper or Concanoople, the Rookie of the Year." I'm like, bro, there's a reason he was taken higher in the draft. He was a clearly better prospect. Con was a more NBA ready player, but for Dylan to be this good at 20, it's kind of crazy because most rookies are not thrown onto a 60-win team. They're put onto a 20-win squad. Harper didn't even have regular training camp because he was recovering from a thumb surgery on his shooting hand, and he literally worked his way back into the rotation in the middle of the season and was probably the best sixth man in basketball this year. They gave it to Keldon, but he is a better player than Keldon right now. So I don't give a shit what they say. I mean, we're watching a bona fide star.
John's
in the making.
pissed off at the
come
TikTok
on,
GMs.
John.
I like to be honest and authentic, and what I see is someone with limitless potential. I see a lot of shades of James Harden, Oklahoma City, and people would be blind to not acknowledge what he's doing is very
So
impressive.
he's got Hall of Fame potential.
I'll never put that on a rookie. I'll never say
if
that.
he's James Harden.
It's reminiscent of Oklahoma City James Harden.
Who
Sixth man of the
ended
year
up-
who can be an All-NBA player.
Who ended up becoming a Hall of Famer.
You don't say it exactly that way, but when you do compare someone to James Harden, you are also in some way projecting that they will turn into a superstar.
A
level
superstar.
player.
Yeah.
I do believe he has
exactly.
that potential, yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think Dylan Harper has been amazing. We're going to get into the NFL talk of this episode. Two things, the breaking news. We had Myles Garrett go to the Los Angeles Rams. The compensation was the Browns got Jared Verse, a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, and a 2029 third-round pick. This is good compensation for
Elite.
Myles Garrett. I mean, they got Jared Verse, who's a top 10 edge rusher, and you have 3 picks all within the first 3 rounds, first, second, third-round pick, and the Rams get Myles Garrett. In the same offseason, they have been able to get Trent McDuffie, Myles Garrett, and when this move happened, the odds for the championship this upcoming season, they swayed. The Rams are now the favored team to win it all at a 16% chance on Polymarket. You can use our code PAS26. Got to plug in the sponsor. Shout out to Polymarket. You deposit
you.
$20
Shout out,
and you get $50. It's hard to disagree with that notion right now. On paper, top to bottom, the Rams are the most talented team in the NFL. Shout out to our social media team. They posted this graphic. You look at the Los Angeles Rams defense. Myles Garrett, Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, Byron Young, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Quentin Lake, Cameron Kitchens, Cam Curl. This is, you can argue, the best defense in football. If not, at the very least, a top 5 defense in football. You have the MVP quarterback in Matthew Stafford. You have great running backs in Kyron and Corum. You have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Sean McVay is your head coach. It doesn't get better than this. To me, this is better than the 2020. This is better than the 2024 Eagles. This is better than the 2021 Rams, who had Jalen Ramsey, and they traded for Von Miller in the middle of that season. This is one of the best teams I've ever seen assembled in NFL history. And for Les Snead to pull this off, being set for the present, and then drafting a quarterback in the first round and having him learn and soak in all this information, you set yourself up in a position to win now and win in the future. You added 2 great corners. You added the best edge rusher in football. It doesn't get better than this.
2021 Rams team did also have Aaron Donald. That is something.
You seen the flirtations out there about him coming back?
I'd be
That
hype.
would be nuts.
I'd be hype. I'm not going to tell you, as a fan of the game, I'd be hype.
Yeah, me too.
We've
I'd
never
be
seen that.
awesome.
The best defensive player, arguably in history, in Aaron Donald
with another
playing with
one of the
Myles
best
Garrett.
defensive players in NFL history.
Exactly. I don't think we've ever seen that on the same team. We don't know if Aaron Donald is going to be the same, but
Yeah.
I won't bet against Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
But Aaron
imagine,
Donald
like,
still
him-
looks in shape.
Imagine him being a
Very much
Robin.
so.
Imagine him being a Robin to
He's
Myles Garrett.
75% Aaron Donald. He's
With
a
the rest
fucking
of that
top
front
10
four.
I'm just gonna
IDL
assume he's
league.
Aaron Donald though, like out of respect for
Yeah.
the best I've ever seen
I
at the
get that.
position. Nevertheless, when this trade first happened, my first thought was like everybody else, what the fuck? No way. Nuts. My second thought was immediately looking at the two teams that were involved, how do you allow yourself, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, to get outbid here, understanding that this is your main competition for taking down the throne of the Seattle Seahawks as repeat champions? Like, understanding that you are coming off a season where you underwhelmed in the playoffs, you were a dominant regular season team, but in your first round, going up against an injured, banged up Niners team, you were wildly disappointing at home. You know what you need. And the fact that you had an opportunity to go and get a guy like Myles Garrett in the building, seeing the Rams so willing to part ways with Jared Verse, who, like you mentioned, is already in year two, coming after being done with his sophomore season, already a top 10 edge, one of the league leaders in pressures, one of the league leaders in tackles. Maybe the one thing you could be asking for is maybe you just finish the play a little bit more often, but he's disrupting the play a lot. And you think if they had a little bit more secondary, maybe he'd have more sacks underneath his belt. Maybe that's a thought that crosses people's mind. I get that Jalen Carter's defensive tackle in that position is at a premium right now. Are you not at least entertaining that? Like, is that not a thought to you? Just seeing how willing and able the Rams were, just like, you know what? We can get Myles Garrett in the building. It's going to cost us a first, second, and third. Different years at least. And this guy who could be the potential future of this organization in Jared Verse had a chance at another Super Bowl. You don't know how long that window is. Windows open and they close. It's football. The Chiefs made it look like it was normal. The Patriots made it look like it was normal. Winning a Super Bowl is hard as shit. Being continuously dominant year in, year out, contending for a Super Bowl, extremely difficult. I would have thought about it. Not even been like, Jalen Carter, I'd like to maybe just one pick. The fact you were closed off to it, that makes me a bit underwhelmed if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think that is a missed opportunity for them. But the Browns, I mean, this is as good as it gets in terms of compensation back for a player like Myles Garrett, in my opinion. You get great draft capital. You get a great player for your future as well that can grow with the youth movement that has been already injected in these last couple of years in the draft. People may not like Andrew Barry for this move, but at the same time, he understands that this team's not getting any younger, or Myles Garrett is not getting any younger, and you need to make sure you maximize the value that is the best defensive player in the game. This is exactly that. If you're the Rams, you're the best team in the game. This is one of the most talented teams I've ever seen in my life. My immediate thought goes to the 2007 Patriots. I'm not going to say that this team goes undefeated and wins the Super Bowl and they're the first team to do it since the 72 Dolphins, but I can't help but go there. Matthew Stafford still a
Coming
top
off an
5
MVP.
quarterback in the game. Kyron Williams, Corum, top 2 tandem in the league, arguably the best now that Monty's no longer with the Lions. Puka and Tay have a seat at the table for the best duo in the game. One of the best offensive lines in the game. Now with Myles Garrett, one of the best defensive lines in the game. With adding Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, one of the best cornerback duos in the game. Cam Karl, one of the better safeties in the game. What are they missing? They've got everything. So I look at this Rams team and I just think they're not afraid to do what other teams are. And that is forget about the picks. Let's live in the now. Let's compete now because we only can control what's right in front of us. And bringing in a guy like Myles Garrett, I'm still going to assume, considering the athletic freak that he is, he's got at least 2-3 more years of being this dominant force. So this was a no-brainer move if I'm the Rams. It sucks to give a guy like Verse away. Don't get me wrong. It's a no-brainer because it's Myles Garrett, but it costs them. They're just not afraid to pay it.
Yeah, and I mean they have the luxury of having depth on the defensive line right? So in an ideal world, I'm sure they wanted to keep Jared Verse
sure.
and pair Jared Verse and have this just
They're like, "You
ridiculous
want Kobe?
defensive line.
I'll give it Kobe.
Yeah, I'm sure. And they even said it too. I don't know who reported it, Rapport, Schefter, one of the guys. Once Jared Verse's name got brought up, then the Browns really started saying, okay, let's have this conversation.
Real.
Because earlier in the offseason, it seemed like, Myles Garrett was going to be a Brown. They reworked his contract, pushed some of the money around, which made it easier for the Rams to trade him. I mean, from the Rams' perspective, you got Myles Garrett. Like, there's not much of a deep dive we got to do. This is the best defensive player in the world. This is one of the best defensive players we've ever seen. This is defensive player of the year. It's Myles Garrett. What he's going to bring to this defense, what he's going to bring to this team. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they were doing, I saw some stat. I think Benjamin Solak put it out that they were amongst the league leaders when it comes to stunts, right? Because a lot of the stuff that Jared Verse does, in just the different defensive lineman passers that they have, you need to be a bit creative because they didn't have as dominant, obviously, as Myles Garrett when it comes to just winning one-on-one against the edge. Now they have that someone could just go up there straight up and beat basically every offensive lineman in the NFL. What becomes interesting with the Rams is just their 2027 free agency class. Because I think part of the reason maybe they did this over Philly is just Philly doesn't have a ton of money next season. Of course, they could go and, change all these contracts and rework contracts. But next year, the Rams have just a ton of key free agents. Devontae Adams, Kevin Dotson, Steve Avila, Byron Young, Kobe Turner. They have like 5+ key starter players that you're building this team around that are up for an extension next year. And making this Myles Garrett move, obviously you have some of the money because all these guys come off the books. You're going to have to really pick and choose who you're going to have to pay. Puka Nacua becomes contract eligible or extension eligible as well. So that's another big contract that's going to have to come on the books. But what they're telling us, obviously, is just we have this window. We see this window is right here. It's a small window for Matthew Stafford. Maybe it's a small window for Sean McVay, who's flirted with retirement in the past. But we're going to go out here and we're going to do everything in our power. There was rumors about the Ajay Brown trade, a month ago. We thought that would be fucking insane. And so they do one above that and go and trade for Myles Garrett. So awesome for the Rams. And for the Browns, I think it's a great haul. I was a bit surprised when the trade first came out that people were like, is this all you got? I'm like, all you fucking got? It's like, we got fucking Jared Verse, a first-round pick. And that was even before you got the two day two picks that you got in 2029. So, I mean, from the Browns' perspective, it's hard to get a better haul than this. Jared Verse is one of the best passers in the NFL. He's still under, making fucking $5 million a year for the next 2 years, plus the fifth-year option. He's 5-ish years younger than Myles Garrett, so he's more in the timeline that they have because obviously not going to compete for the next couple of seasons. So from the Browns, if you're trading Myles Garrett, this is what you got to get. You got to get a young player that has blue chip, all-pro potential, multiple draft picks, including a first-round pick. You have more ammunition now for 2027 if you want to go and make a move at quarterback. And above all else, you made the team worse. And that's what you should be doing for 2027 because you want to get as close to number 1, number 2 as possible. If you go and get a quarterback. So it was shocking. I wouldn't put it at the Luka level of shock, but it's probably like a tier or 2 below where I was not expecting Myles Garrett to get traded and let alone go into the Rams where it felt like this team has no weaknesses. You guys mentioned it. Quarterback, running back, receiver, offensive line, defensive line, secondary, coaching staff. There's not a single hole in this team. There's really nothing you could point at and be like, oh, that's what's going to fuck them up. And on top of that, the one thing that's I think the most interesting is just going back to the Ty Simpson pick because I see both worlds where if you're going all in, why don't you trade for or why don't you select a Reuben Bain, why don't you select one of the tackles or one of the wide receivers that can give you some depth or just key contributors in year one. The other part of that is you take the quarterback at 13. So these picks in the future, we already got a quarterback, right? We have the next era when Matthew Stafford wants to retire. So we could go and trade some of these draft picks because we feel like we don't have to make a massive move in a year or 2 or 3-4 years, however long Stafford's around for, because we took the quarterback now. It was the only move this season where they just didn't go for the now. They didn't go for the now. We're going to build for the future. That's a little counterintuitive. But the fucking Rams are disgusting.
That kind of makes sense. Sorry, John, that you go and now you have the rookie under contract. And I can now go and pay Kobe Turner. I can now go pay Byron Young. I can go and now pay Puka Nacua. I think that it becomes a little more unlikely that Devontae Adams is re-signed. But with this quarterback rookie deal, depending on what happens with Matthew Stafford, of course, it becomes a lot more flexible on the books.
It's huge because, like you kind of highlighted, in that window, you get that rookie contract, you're likely to hopefully retain a couple of those free agents next year. And part of what allowed the Rams to do this is that Myles Garrett's 4 void years attached to his contract, to where his cap hit this season's $8 million, which is less than 3% of the cap, which is so crazy. It's how they slot him into this lineup. And I look at this, it's one of the best front sevens I think we'll ever see, between Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Brandon Fisk, and then you also have Byron Young with Myles Garrett already, who was elite. It was great before then. And then you have all those players right in the middle of their prime in their 20s, some of them playing on contract years. And it makes the life of that secondary so much easier, to where Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie are going to have a lot of turnover-worthy opportunities this year, just because of the amount of pressure they generate. And of course, the Browns, I felt like this was a great move for them. Part of me was looking at this Myles Garrett trade akin to Matthew Stafford. You're a Hall of Fame caliber talent that spent your entire career on a poor franchise, never won a playoff game, and then at 30 years old, you get traded to a clear title-winning caliber team, and it changes the entire legacy of a player like Garrett if he's able to win a Super Bowl this year. It's the one thing that he never had in his resume, and it makes this entire trade a win-win, because the Browns, I thought Dehls said it perfectly, they got an absolute haul, right? Like, people maybe tend to value the quantity of draft picks, but if someone told you you're getting 2 first-round picks on one of these, you're going to hit a slam dunk with a top 3 player from that draft class, you'd be like, sign me up, right? And,
Hell yeah.
And Jared Verse is the type of player that in a couple of years, we can talk about him, a top 5 edge rusher in football, and he's 5 years younger. So as a Steeler fan, I almost wish they didn't do this. I thought they did an amazing job. So to be quite honest with you, my best friend texted me. He's like, "Yo, you hype now that Myles Garrett's in our division?" I'm like, "No, I'm like this. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it really didn't matter. His career is being wasted away on a 5-win team, right? And now the Browns get this incredible hole, and they're getting a player in Jared Verse who's going to be, terrorizing all offensive lines the next decade, anyways. So
it's funny that you mentioned that, because I think the parallels between Matthew Stafford and Myles Garrett are very eerily similar. Just one is a quarterback, one is an edge rusher. Matthew Stafford, given his career to the Detroit Lions, gets traded for another quarterback, plays the same position in Jared Goff, and Jared Goff has success with Detroit, and Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl with the Rams. Myles Garrett, he's made the playoffs a couple times with the Browns, but always played with inept offenses, much like Stafford didn't play with very good defenses. And then Myles Garrett gets traded for a player that plays his position in Jared Verse and more draft capital. That Jared Goff trade helped the Lions rebuild their team, much like how acquiring Jared Verse could help the Browns rebuild theirs. They still have a star edge rusher, Andrew Berry, in the draft. It feels like he's really not missing within those first 3 rounds.
Hell yeah.
You get that draft capital added to your team. You are probably going to be bad this year, going to be worse. You're going to be in a position to draft a quarterback. They are setting themselves for future success. Then you look at the Rams, dude. Man, the Rams, it's just ridiculous, man. They're just stacked, bro. They're legitimately stacked. There's not a weakness on this team. You guys have just said that ad nauseum on this show. It's just the truth.
What team is more dominant? 2026 Rams or the 2017 Warriors?
Well, we haven't seen the Rams play yet, but under the assumption,
important caveat.
I think that the Warriors is more stacked.
17-18 better than 16-17?
16-17 have more depth. But you have KD, Clay, Steph, Draymond, Iguodala.
I just think that for basketball purposes, you knew it was done. You knew it was over. I think football, there's such a strong chance for injury. Not that there's not a strong chance for basketball. And one game, win or go home. The Giants beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
As long as that exists, I can't just outwardly say 2026 Rams. The Giants beating the Patriots kind of removed all
it's football.
Complete
matchup, anything.
That's really what it is for me.
Dude catches a fucking ball on his head, catches on his fucking helmet.
Magnet on the side of his helmet. It's incredible. One of the craziest plays ever.
The best Myles Garrett stat is that he has a 24% pass rush win rate, which is number 1 in the NFL. Jared Verse is at 17%. Myles Garrett being at 24%, just to put it simply, 1 in every 4 pass rushes, he's winning. That is another level of dominant, but he has that win percentage despite being the most double-teamed edge rusher in the NFL. Number 2 is Micah Parsons, and there is a gap between those two. Myles Garrett is on another level in terms of how often he gets double-teamed, which now frees up the interior pass rush. Kobe Turner, 5th in pass rush win rate in his position. Braden Fisk, 14th. this is going to be an offensive line's nightmare. Myles Garrett can generate pressure on his own, whether he's doubled or not. And then you free up guys like Kobe Turner and Fisk, Byron Young, opposite of Garrett. Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson going from last year's Chiefs pass rush to the pass rush they're about to play with. That is a championship caliber cornerback tandem. We've already seen them win a championship and make big plays. Now they have more of ability to be aggressive, to be ball hawks. They play excellent sticky coverage, both of them. This is going to be a nightmare for offenses to deal with.
They went to the moon.
I'm also happy. Not happy. I don't really root for one way or the other, but I think Chris Shula is someone that I was a bit surprised to get a head coaching job. I thought the Steelers job was inside track for him, but they went elsewhere. But all the weird shit he's done over the last couple of seasons, the fact that you could put Myles Garrett onto this defense and he just frees up a lot of other shit that he can do, it wouldn't surprise me if he's ends up being a head coach next season.
Yeah.
And for the Browns, just one last thing. I feel like the last two draft classes you've had makes it a lot easier to let's go get Jared Verse. You know what I mean? Like, do we really need 3 first-round picks? Like, we have like 8 to 10 players over the last 2 years that we want to get on the field and play right away. Let's get Jared Verse, who's going to be probably the best player. You know, you got other guys there, right? But at least the best edge rusher that can come in day one and play, rather than what's the point of getting an extra first or an extra second-round pick? We have all these young players already. Let's get someone who's a little bit more established in the league. Could come in and at least help us a little bit more than some rookie would.
Are the Rams going to go undefeated?
I don't think they'll go undefeated, but
They're going to lose week 3.
it feels like if they don't win like 14 games, it's like, what happened? You
Well,
know
let's
what I mean?
predict their schedule.
Okay.
Week 1 versus the 49ers.
When
Shanahan does have a good track record, but they're at home, I'm assuming.
It sells Melbourne Cricket Ground. This might be the
Oh, so
overseas
overseas.
game. Yep.
I
yeah,
mean, still,
overseas can make it weird. But it's
It-
also week 1. This is Bosa coming back, Fred coming back, Kittle TBD.
Kittle's probably not playing, no?
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
a
I
little
think
bit.
he's an outside chance to play.
Long shot.
I'm going to take the Rams. Bless you.
Bless you.
Rams win week 1, 1-0. Somebody keep count. Week 2 versus the Giants.
Dub.
Win.
Win.
2-0.
Week 3 at the Broncos.
So no.
Win.
In Denver?
The Rams.
So?
This could be a super close game.
You said it was the Bills. Never forget that.
I took the Broncos.
Yeah, be honest.
I'm going to take the Rams here. This is a very winnable game, though, for Denver.
Week 4 at the Eagles.
Who do you think wins?
I think the Rams win. I
Okay.
think they're 3-0 right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Week 4 at the Eagles.
Okay, it feels like they have to lose one of these 2 games, right?
But
Either
are
the
they going to
Broncos
lose?
or
We know,
the Eagles.
we know
That's
they're
what I'm
better.
saying. They need to beat the Eagles.
I like the Broncos' chance better than Philly,
Me too.
but we're already past it, so I'll give them the win here.
I believe
what
the
the
Eagles.
fuck?
I feel like Philly's going to have some early season growing pains on new OC, not having AJ Brown, their offense. And with Denver, they also have a defense, which I could see forcing turnovers, and that's the only way you're going to beat this Rams team to me. Forcing 2 or more turnovers.
So 3-1 with the L to the Broncos.
4-0.
Sure.
They're 4-0 right now. Week 5 at the Bills.
Dub.
Jesus, this schedule's tough.
It is tough.
And what are we surprised?
Win.
5-0. Week 6 versus the Cardinals.
Win.
There we go.
There we go.
6-0. Week 7 at the Raiders.
Win.
There we go.
Can you imagine Fernando Mendoza like starting a week or 2 before and having to play this team in the second or third NFL start?
Week
Tough.
Week 8 versus the Chargers.
Dub.
Win.
Week 9.
Tough game, though.
Yeah.
It
Be
is, yeah.
sneaky.
Chargers,
But they'll
It's a
isolate
home
one of
game
those interior
for the Rams,
offensive
probably.
linemen with Garrett on mismatches and kill him.
Week 9 at the Commanders.
Win.
Dub.
9-0.
Yeah.
Week 10 at the Cardinals.
Next.
Week 11 bye.
Okay.
And they're sitting at 10-0.
10-0. Not
They have
bad.
not lost yet.
Not bad.
9-1, still great.
Week 12 versus the Packers.
Win.
Yeah, the Packers don't put fear in my heart
Not
right
at all.
now.
If there's a team that they'll lose to, is his next team. It's week 13 versus the Chiefs.
Win.
Is it home or away?
This
home,
is
right?
home for the Rams.
Win.
I'll give him a W here.
Okay. All right. That's
12-0.
12-0.
12-0.
Week 14 at the 49ers.
This
Do
is
they
I think they
sweep?
sweep.
You
Yeah.
think they
I think
sweep?
no. Shanahan's not getting swept.
Good luck with that pass rush. Good luck, Brock. I don't know what you're going to do.
Shanahan will figure it out.
There's
He's
some
gonna get
things he
one.
just-
Shanahan will get one.
Seattle, I believe they split. San Francisco, I don't see it.
Can we not disrespect San Francisco like they're this regular ass team?
Really good team. I'm expecting some regression. Last year, one of the easiest schedules, the easiest schedule in football, and I'm also a little bit concerned with CMC this year.
They were so
the last
injured.
2 times CMC in the NFL in touches, he played 4
All
in 3
right,
games.
CMC gets injured. That is gonna fucking suck. God forbid. I pray
I
he's
hope
healthy.
not, but it's something that I'm
Bosa, Fred
baking
back
in.
on the team.
So Drew, your 49ers, your Rams, where are you at, Dehls?
I'm with Drew. I don't think they sweep the Niners.
Okay, so you're giving them their first loss
Yeah.
loss of the season. Understandable. They've played some tough opponents,
Very tough.
and you guys have given the
You guys
Rams the
said they
win
were
over
gonna
them.
beat the Broncos.
Week 15 versus the Cowboys.
Win.
So when
Wait, so they
in-
don't play Seattle till like week 16?
that's
Well,
nuts.
Week 18, week 16, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I mean,
bro.
Denver's defense is just so
sucks.
much better than San Francisco's. Even with them getting Bosa and Williams back healthy, it's still going to be. That's why Denver's got a better shot.
I don't disagree with you, bud.
The Rams are 13-1 now. Okay, now we're on to week 16 at the Seahawks.
At Seattle.
Give it to Seattle.
Give me Seattle.
No.
13-2, week 17 at the Bucks.
Win.
Win.
14-2, now week 18 versus the Seahawks.
Win. 15 wins.
They
Not
probably had the 1 seed locked up by now, and Ty Simpson starts in this game.
Could be.
Yeah.
But I will say, we gave them 15 wins. They're obviously the best team in football. That beginning stretch where it's Denver, Buffalo, Philly, like they're going to get tested early.
Mhm.
No, you're not wrong. That it's a brutal stretch, but it doesn't feel brutal for them because
No, 'cause
they're
they're-
so good.
Yeah.
They have the best roster on paper, top to bottom in the NFL. The other major domino that happened in the NFL was we've known about this trade for a while. It was AJ Brown going to the Patriots. We were just waiting for post June 1st to see this deal materialize. But yeah, AJ Brown getting traded to the Patriots, the Eagles getting some draft compensation for trading AJ Brown. I feel like there's 2 ways to approach this. The first way to approach this is how good does this make the Patriots now? A team that has gotten routinely knocked for their easy schedule last season now has added major talent to the offense with AJ Brown and Romeo Doubs. And then it's the Eagles aspect of it. How much worse did the Eagles get after trading AJ Brown? A lot of Eagles fans, like they should, to be honest, they should feel that their team is going to be better. Why wouldn't they not feel that way? But they feel like this needed to happen. But looking at the AFC Championship odds on Polymarket, the Patriots are not top 4. The Ravens are at 13%. The Chargers are at 12%. The Bills are at 12%. The Chiefs are at 11%. The Patriots right now on Polymarket, they have the 6th best odds to win the AFC. They're tied with the Texans at 9%. Do you feel like that is a representation of where they stand right now after this move?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty fair. They need to make this move. Otherwise, they're bound for regression with a tougher schedule to me. It's perfect for Drake, getting that wide receiver 1, and then also it allows Doubs, Henry, and Booty to fill into a more natural secondary, tertiary roles in the receiving game. But a team like Houston, they have one of the best defenses, not only one of, arguably the best defense we've seen in the last 5+ years. I would rank the Patriots right beside them, and I would say top 4 or 5 is reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, New England last season, I get the schedule. If you want to say it was a one-off thing, whatever, you got an MVP level quarterback. You got an MVP level quarterback, you're going to be a team that's going to be fighting for the playoffs. Will they win the AFC East and be the number 2 seed and all of that? I don't know. But getting AJ Brown, like John says, makes your margin for error a lot bigger. Because even though AJ is coming off a disappointing season, where whether he lost half a step, whether he wasn't 100% healthy, we'll see. He comes in and he just dominates that receiver room, right? The fact that New England was able to overhaul this roster and this receiver room. You got to remember last year in the playoffs, the starting receivers are out there with Mac Hollins, Mario Douglas, Keyshawn Booty, right? And you're completely overhauling that now that you have Romeo Doubs there and, of course, AJ Brown. So just the passing offense and the explosiveness that they have on this team is completely night and day from last year. You're hoping Trevion Henderson takes another step too, who adds even another element. Just dynamic rushing ability and big playability to this offense too. So this team offensively was already really good last year, or defense I should say, but now the offense feels like it's starting to catch up. Where Drake Maye felt like he had to play a lot of hero ball, right? He's gonna ran the ball a lot last season, and he was also just making a lot of tight window throws. Now it feels like he's gonna have an opportunity for his receivers actually to win one-on-one, where he doesn't feel like everything becomes so difficult for him, especially when you get into the playoffs and you're playing some of the top defense in football. We saw how much Drake struggled. I think having not only AJ Brown but Romeo Doubs, two guys that can beat man coverage, can beat their guy just one-on-one, and having a legitimate one-on-one vertical threat in AJ Brown. We saw, the step Jalen Hurts took. Part of that was Jalen Hurts being a better quarterback. Part of that was also AJ Brown coming over from Tennessee and just being a dominant force. So I think Drake Maye wouldn't surprise me if next year he has one of the best deep balls in the NFL, although he's coming off last year where he was already up there. So yeah, I think it makes sense from where they are. I'm not surprised that the public is not crowning them as the number 1 or number 2 team in the AFC after the disappointing Super Bowl run. It's a weird thing to say, but with everything that goes into it, having the MVP caliber quarterback play that poorly, I think it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. Philly's in a really interesting position because I don't know if there's any team under more pressure next year than Philly. If things go sideways, everything could change. Coach could be gone. Quarterback can be gone. Vic Fangio was having rumors about retiring. Of course, their offensive line coach, Jeff Stoutland, left this past offseason. That's a huge part of the team that's leaving. They got worse, undoubtedly. And if you're an Eagles fan, it has to hurt. See Jalen Phillips leave, see Nakobe Dean leave, Blankenship, now AJ Brown, all of these key contributors. And I understand you drafted guys and you got Howie and he always figures it out. But when you see a team like the Rams going to be able to get Myles Garrett, and New England maybe obviously different conference, but they're able to go and get AJ Brown, you're kind of looking around like, what was our move? What did we do to get better? It feels like all we did was get worse, not only on paper, on the roster, but also on the coaching staff. So it's a lot of pressure on Nick Sirianni, a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts this year. And you're doing it with the least talented roster you've had in the last 3 years. So New England, of course, has gotten better, but I don't think there's any team or any player under more pressure than Philly and Jalen Hurts.
The Eagles are banking on the new offensive coordinator hire to overshadow all of those losses that happened. Because you can make the argument that their offense was held back to a ridiculous degree last season because Kevin Patullo was an inept offensive play caller. So if you can now once again have a dynamic offense, Devontae Smith can step up similar to how JSN stepped up when DK Metcalf got traded. He became the undoubted number 1 wide receiver. Saquon Barkley bounces back, has a great season. And your defense, it got worse, but you should still be a top defense. Then that is where their improvement's going to come from. But it's a big gamble because we don't know.
It's the first time play caller.
Exactly. We don't know if Sean Mannion is going to be a great play caller. And we don't know if Jalen Hurts can adjust to his offense.
I'll stay on the point of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a little lost where Eagles fans are kind of happy about this, truthfully. The fact that you could trade away AJ Brown and just think, awesome, this is great. I get a first-round pick. Don't get me wrong, that's good. 2028. I don't know how great of a first-round pick it is, but trusting Howie Roseman there, he just seems like he always does the right thing on draft day, especially with those first-round picks. And now Smitty goes into that wide receiver 1 role, which a lot of Philly fans really feel passionately that he can do. I do feel like he can. I do believe he has those capabilities, but I also feel like football was a lot easier when A.J. Brown was drawing a lot of that attention. And Mekhi Lemon being that safety blanket, I think that Philly prepared very well for this. I just also can't wrap my head around the idea that it's a good thing to lose A.J. Brown. That's me. And I get the drama. I get that you're tired of being in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. I'm in the business of keeping talent on my team. I just would never be happy with trading a guy. Maybe you could say he's in the end of his prime. He's out of his prime. He's 27, going to be 28. I still think he has some great football in front of him. That's where I kind of have a disconnect there. But if the drama really bothered you that much, then hey, you got what you wanted. Now Smitty's your wide receiver 1. Mekhi Lemon can get some opportunity where he's now in the slot and he can move around the field, and we can see some different looks from him. Philly's going to be in for a very interesting year where a lot of their mistakes will be put under a microscope more now than ever. Even though they have the championship, I still think that people don't care. People just don't like Philly, and they're going to get any chance. They're going to take any chance they have to go out there and pick them apart. And now they're kind of leaving themselves open for that more now than ever. As for the Patriots, this is an easy move to make. This is you getting Drake Maye, who was just second in MVP voting, 1 vote away from winning the award. a real wide receiver one in the same season that you bring in Elijah Vera Tucker, you bring in Romeo Dobbs. You are trying to build up what was an underwhelming offense that he was able to uplift. And I think that in year 2 with Travion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson just being a great veteran to have and him playing some of the best football that he has played in his career in the second half of that season, it'll be a huge boost to this team. And that goes without saying. That's an obvious statement. The one thing where you look at the Patriots is there going to be an issue with this offensive line where is Will Campbell going to be the liability that he was in the second half of the season? Is he going to be healthy? Where I feel like injury really swayed his season to be as poor as it ended because he was the punching bag for their team throughout the entirety of that playoff run, especially in that Super Bowl where he got absolutely torn apart. And that's the one question where I look at and think that in teams where they have great defensive line presence, if they are the team that's representing the AFC yet again, which I don't believe that they will, I'm obviously going to go with my Broncos, or I'm going to also go with the Buffalo Bills. If I'm being honest, I do think that they are the better team, but you put yourself in a position to still assert dominance and continue to be great while you have this rookie contract on your books. Obvious move made by them, but Philadelphia, you have to continue to be good around the margins, and as good as they've been around the margins for Howie Roseman's tenure, fans are going to want to poke fun at them, and they're leaving themselves as open as they've been in a long time.
I think the Patriots are getting underrated. The Patriots, I understand last year's schedule wasn't the toughest. I know the Bills added DJ Moore. I think the Patriots had a much better offseason than Buffalo. Their roster looks better to me. The Patriots' floor is 11 wins. I think, once again, they're going to win the AFC East. And I have their schedule in front of me. Week 1 at the Seahawks.
L.
That's an L. That's a tough opener.
It's a tough opener, but you have A.J. Brown now, Romeo Dobbs. In the Super Bowl, who was Drake May's pass catchers? The offensive line might be the biggest issue, though. But Clint Kubiak, new OC for the Seahawks. I think this game can go either way. It's going to be primetime, but I understand. Respect to Seattle. They're 0-1. Week 2 versus the Steelers.
So win. 1-1.
They'll beat Pittsburgh. Last year's Steelers beat them, get 5 turnovers, and that's not happening again.
Early in the season, too, right? It's like
Yep.
week 2, week 1.
Yeah, it's like week 3 or 4, something like that.
Week 3 at the Jaguars.
Dub.
That could be a loss.
That's a tough game.
Jags lost a lot this offseason.
They did.
They did.
I would lean with New England.
That offense is going to be juiced.
Yeah, the offense is going to be great.
Week 4 at Buffalo. The Patriots are 2-1 right now.
That's an L.
I think
they
it's an
split
L.
2-2.
At Buffalo stuff.
Would I be shocked if they swept Buffalo? No, but I'm going to also lean with a split. I'll give this to Buffalo.
It would
too.
shock me.
Yeah, I agree with Joel in the sense that Buffalo did lose a decent bit. And I don't view the DJ Moore acquisition as this like needle-moving acquisition per se. I'll go with the Bills here, though.
Week 5 versus the Raiders.
Win.
Dub.
3-2.
They lost the Raiders too last year.
Yeah, week 1.
Yeah, it was crazy that they'll turn the tide this year.
Week 6 versus the Jets.
Win.
Dub.
4-2.
Week 7 at the Bears. Drake May versus Caleb.
I am seated for this.
Awesome game. I'm
Where
taking
is
New
it?
England.
Thursday Night Football at Soldier Field.
Okay, I'm taking Chicago.
Prime
Taking Chicago.
I'm
Prime
taking
time game.
Chicago.
I'll take New
4-3.
England.
The Bears defense might not
It's
be that good
skeptical
this
as
year.
shit, for sure.
Like, the Patriots have a more complete team than the
Oh, for sure.
Bears.
If the Bears fall off this year, how you going to feel?
I'll be okay.
Okay.
I have
What's
bigger issues.
Because you don't really care about anything in this life. That's your problem.
No, they're just not the Jets. Like,
Okay.
if the Bears fell off, like, okay.
This
I
guy,
understand
this
you.
guy had the audacity. You know what? Now I have to read the text.
Okay.
No. We have to actually stop the show so I can read this text.
He said he was a Bears fan now?
Bro, he had the audacity to talk about some, because Jared called him out on being a Drake May fan and now a Caleb Williams fan, and
I can't love both.
no, I can't. I'm trying to, oh, here we go. It's pretty simple, man. I loved Caleb, but he was getting glazed too much. So I said it's nuts if he's my guy. I said Drake is low-key on his level, but most people didn't see it. So I became a Drake guy. Then he became an MVP level dude in year 2. He doesn't need me anymore. Caleb needs me now.
Caleb needs me more than Drake. Drake's cool, man.
Damn, exposing now.
Now we got
4K.
Bo Nix and
4K.
Caleb. I need to get out of this Bo Nix tier, and then we'll be fine, man.
So once Caleb clears Bo Nix, you're gonna drop Caleb and
Nah.
just set him free.
I still
Is
love
he gonna?
him.
It's like a bird's nest. You just see your birdie go.
I still love him.
Okay. You still love Drake May. I mean, you have a Drake May jersey, right?
I do.
Yeah. he
Gifted
does.
though.
It's
Didn't
a
buy it.
tough spot to be in.
Taxed
Okay.
a lot.
So if they lose to the Bears, if the Patriots lose to the Bears, what's the record?
4-3.
Nels? Okay. Week 8 at the Dolphins.
Win.
5-3.
Week 9 versus the Packers.
Dub.
Michael Parsons could be back for this game.
6-3.
I'm with you.
Week 10 versus the Lions.
7-3.
Ooh,
My humble opinion.
That's a tough game.
It's a tough game.
You said this is on the road?
This is in
It's at
Ford.
It's in New England.
Oh,
Okay. Give me the Pats.
7-3.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Jared Goff outside.
It
This is
says
probably,
it's at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
the
overseas.
London game. or
London
some shit.
game. Back
Okay.
to the Lions.
Yeah, probably taking Detroit here.
Detroit, 6-4.
The Lions are going to be a lot better than people expect this year.
Week 11 bye. Week 12 at the Chargers.
This is a
It's a
tough
tough
game. I do think,
Off a bye though, right?
Yes.
fair enough. Chargers looked horrendous against the Patriots. They're going to want to get their get back.
They did.
Do they?
Nah,
I'm
I think
taking
New
the
England off
Chargers.
a bye. Okay.
Ooh.
I take New
Off the
England.
bye, I'm going to take the Pats.
7-4.
They overruled you, John. Week 13 versus the Bills.
They split.
Splits dub.
8-4.
Week 14 versus the Vikings.
W.
Trap game. I'm
Yeah.
going to take the Pats, though.
9-4.
Okay, remember I said floor 11.
Yeah.
Week 15 at the Chiefs.
Loss.
At the Chiefs, Mahomes locked, loss.
9-5.
Week 16 at the Jets.
Dub.
10-5.
Yep.
Week 17 versus the Broncos. Bo Nix versus Drake
Come on,
May.
baby. You're going to see what should have happened in the AFC Championship game. Jalen Waddle, Gonzo, A.J. Brown, Pat Surtain, box office.
This is in Denver.
This is in New England.
I'm with Drew.
I would lean with New England then.
Give me
Bo Nix
Denver.
is not afraid of the outdoors, but he plays in
No,
Denver.
no, he's not Jared Goff.
You're going Denver, John. You're going Denver, Drew. You went New England.
Yeah.
We move on. What's the record now?
10-6.
And week 18 versus the Dolphins.
11. 11-6. I don't know if that's the floor though.
I think that is-
We
I mean,
just got to 11
Dude,
wins.
they can beat the Lions. They can beat the Broncos.
We gave them
Those
we gave-
NFC
lost-
North games
we
are
gave-
tough.
They can beat the Bears too. They can sweep the Bills, if I'm being honest with you.
But
No,
all
they
of these games could go either way. Like, I think New England's going to be really good, but these are all tough opponents.
We had them going 3-1 against those NFC North teams, or maybe 4-0, and I feel like it can go
They lost to
2-2.
the Bears. I think we gave them lost to Detroit.
No, we did have them going
Detroit,
3-1. The only loss was to the Bears.
But like
I
the
thought you guys had
Packer
Detroit
game,
take
the
them, though.
Vikings.
We did have Detroit
Oh
get
yeah,
2-2.
yeah.
two.
You guys went 2-2. I mean, I think that they're a more talented team than the Lions, and I think that they're a more talented team than the Bears.
Are they
The
more
Bears-
talented than the Lions?
The defense, I think that's the massive separator.
Aiden Hutchinson, probably better than everybody on the defensive line still. Gonzo, best corner easily.
Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch.
Yeah, their safety room wasn't healthy last year.
Lions
That's the
do
best
have
safety
talent.
room in
We'll
football.
see. Injuries always it's hard for them to stay healthy. I think the Lions are a more talented team than the Bears, though. I think the Lions have more
Okay.
talent on their
I'm
defense.
fine with you.
So I could see in the Packers, we'll have to see. A lot of their development next season is off internal development. Their draft picks, how Micah comes back off the
What's
ACL.
going on with Josh Jacobs?
If Josh Sweat
Yeah.
is going to get traded to
Yeah,
there,
I
there's
saw
been a
that
rumor
too.
around that. So who knows? But the Packers right now, it feels like they have Jordan Love and then a roster that's really doesn't feel
Bunch
like
of
it's that
question marks.
overwhelming.
Christian Watson.
Christian Watson.
Okay.
Chuck
Shout out
Kraft.
Christian.
Yes, Tucker Crowd coming back. They have some things to bank on for sure. But this does feel like
let's
an
not pretend
underwhelming
it's not,
Packers.
it's not a Jordan Love carry.
It is very much so. The Packers roster is underwhelming. It is.
The offense still has talent if healthy.
The offseason was definitely
The
underwhelming.
Vikings
That it
rosters,
was.
the Vikings roster's better. The Lions roster's better, and then the Bears roster. I mean, you could argue it's better too. The real separator there, I think, is coach. But I mean, the Packers don't have any star defensive talent outside of Michael Parsons
oh, well.
and
It is
Xavier
a
McKinney.
top-heavy roster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially without Kraft and Micah, it's like
No, Kraft
one
and
of
Micah,
it's one of the most mid rosters, and that's maybe even polite.
But that's taking away probably their best offensive weapon, their best player.
Of course,
Christian Watson.
not having them maybe to start
Him
the
and
season
Kraft
is
is
going to be
definitely
tough though.
conversation.
It's a conversation for sure.
Yeah,
Cross the
definitely.
dog.
Are Micah and Kraft slated to come back in September?
I think Kraft's going to be ready to go.
Yes, I think
'Cause
Michael
that was
Parsons.
early. It was like week 5.
They say he's going to come back like week 5, so he'll miss the
Starting
first 4
up.
games.
Yeah.
That's
Without
going to be
Micah,
tough.
that's kind of
Jets could win one of those games.
not a
man.
very good
Win
defense.
that Packers game.
No, but dude, I just think that the
I'm sorry.
Patriots. I do think the Patriots' floor is 11 wins. I think a lot of those games I would have had them winning. I would have had them beating the Bears, and I would have had them sweeping Buffalo. I
You
think
hate the Bears. So.
the Patriots, I believe, are at least a 12-win team next season. I think they will win the AFC East once again.
So now the floor has gone from 11 to 12.
Yeah, the floor is 11. The floor is 11. My prediction is
Tomorrow
12.
13.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast. You guys can follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook on Pick a Side Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. If you guys made it this far, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you.
Legends.
See you guys next time.